This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 407 for the week of Monday, February 22nd, 2016. My name is Zach.
And my name is Ed.
And my name is Steve.
On today's show, we have the director for Rick and Morty, Bryan Newton, is joining us again. How's it going, Bryan?
Hey guys, haven't been on in a while.
Yeah, but you've been on much more recently than our next guest, who is making his return after 360 episodes. We have planned it the entire time. We have Steve's friend Mike on with us. Hey, Mike.
Hi. Told you I'd be back.
Yes, he did say it.
Yeah, I think we
episode
got back
40,
and listened to episode 47.
46.
Hungry, Hungry Hippo.
I think it was 46.
It feels like yesterday.
Talk about Impel Down.
I mean, I can still remember why we had named that episode that, so it's pretty good.
I don't remember why we named that
It's the
episode.
stupid
Impel Down.
filler hippo.
The hippo.
It was a much
They
different. It was a much different time. Doctor was caught up with One Piece, and Firecrotch was on the show.
What? Who? Anyway, today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different show since there's no manga, and because most of us haven't had time to watch the anime since we were at a bunch of conventions, which we'll talk about in a minute. We're going to do a piece together, only episodes, no segments. It's just going to be a lot of us talking. Since Mike, Steve, and myself are in the same room, there'll probably be a lot of banter there. So look forward to that in just a few minutes. But before we get started, Steve, you were at a lot of conventions, and so Ed, you too. We're at a lot of conventions in the past few weeks.
Yeah, we were at two conventions, both at the same place at the same time. No, they were.
How convenient.
They were a week apart,
I mean,
but
the two conventions really couldn't have been more different.
very different. But the first one was Katsucon, which was in National Harbor in Maryland. That was Valentine's Day weekend. And that was a lot of fun. I was there. Ed was there as well. Alex, the dude, was there too. And some of the guests you might be familiar with have been on our show plenty of times. Joel McDonald was there, voice of Kuma, and one of the directors for One Piece. Ian Sinclair, voice of Brooke, was also there. And, of course, our voice acting correspondent, J. Michael Tatum, was also there.
I hope he was reporting in for us.
Yeah, he hasn't... Yeah, he's a little late on his new editorial. But no, it was great. It was great to see them. It was great to see some of the fans at that con. Do have a good story though. And this involves Mr. Sinclair, and it's for Bryan Newton. And had a chance to see Ian and Joel, of course. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with my art, but I made like a print that's like a Rick and Morty and Space Dandy mashup. And when I saw Ian Friday night, I was wearing my Get Swifty shirt, the one that I designed. You could buy it at rickandmortyshirts.com. And he was like, that was an awesome shirt. I'm like, and I think Ed was like, yeah, he drew it. And Ian was like, okay, no one's kept me up to date with what you've been up to since. And, just shooting the shit with Ian. I figured, oh, that was cool. And then we went to the Space Dandy panel the next day, and they started talking about Rick and Morty at one point. So I thought, okay, I should give him one of those prints. I think he'd really like it. And Joel, too. But I was lucky enough to run into Ian the last day of the con, and I gave it to him, and it couldn't be... It was like giving a child Christmas presents. It was just... his face just lit up, and he just kept making sounds that sound like Brooke, like, oh! He couldn't be any happier, and, we were just shooting the shit, talking about it. And then, thankfully... Alex reminded me, because I almost forgot, that our very own Bryan is a fan of Ian, and I had to make sure I let him know that. And we're like, it's like one of our friends, one of our colleagues on the show is a director on Rick and Morty, really likes your stuff. He directed, Me Seeks and Destroy and Rick C. Minutes, and his face, like, I'm surprised it didn't melt away like in Raiders. He was so happy.
Which means he just would have been left with a skull face.
Yep. He is officially Brooke now. He is method acting.
You did it, Bryan.
But so then he had to go. He showed me his tablet really quick, and he has like a Me Seeks lock screen on his iPad, and he was very thankful, and he was so excited to hear that, Bryan. And then he left, and Alex and I went about our business. Like almost a minute pass, he hustles back into the room, like huffing and puffing. He's like, do me a favor. Just let him know that those are like my two favorite episodes. Make sure you tell him that. All right, I gotta go. And then he left to head to the airport. So, Bryan, I just thought you should know that
Aw,
he likes those two episodes you directed.
thanks, Ian. It's funny. You do a really good Ian impersonation right there. I mean, like, he's Space Dandy, right?
Yeah, he's Dandy.
Yeah. A buddy of mine also did animation for Space Dandy.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he worked at Warner. He worked on Teen Titans Go with you, right?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, sorry, I shouldn't mention that because I almost forgot. I had to make sure. I'm like, oh, I got to tell him about Bryan. And I almost forgot.
Worlds combined.
But yeah, like Ian is the living embodiment of Brooke. He acts exactly like him. I'm pretty sure he screams like a girl too. But
Oh, you know what's also funny about that, and we did not coordinate this ahead of time. I'm actually wearing my Brooke shirt.
Hey.
How serendipitous.
Yes, indeed.
But other than that, like Katsucon, I wasn't tabling there, so it was the first con in a while where I was just a civilian. But I did run into familiar faces, and if you're listening, happy to run into you. But then the following week, we had the complete opposite of a con, which was MagFest.
MagFest is like a nonstop party.
Yes, it is a nonstop 4-day party for a bunch of young adults and
huge nerds,
and we just drink, we play video games, and we go to concerts, and we drink some more. But I was tabling there, and I had plenty of visitors, a bunch of podcast listeners, some of them meeting us for the first time. They asked for pictures, and just want to say we really appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by, saying hey. If you bought some prints, you're awesome. I don't know if there's anything else really to report. We were all there. It was the first...
MagFest was weird because it was like a con, but it wasn't a con for me because I am not a gamer. I mean, I played some games, played Requisite Halo and Mario Kart
We did play Taekwondo.
Yeah, okay.
Zach knows Taekwondo, and I was in a state of mind where I thought, like, it'd be fun to try to see how good Zach could.
I was also
reverse my grapples, and it was just funny because we'd be playing something, and then I'd look at him, and then I would just try to go for him, and then he's like throwing my arms away, and it was funny. Yeah, had a little too much fun.
And you did too.
It was cool.
Was it fun for you too, Ed? The last 2 weekends?
Oh, it was great. Well, the first weekend was a little difficult because it wasn't staying at the convention site, and then there was also that hour-long fire alarm that we had to deal with. Fortunately, MagFest got their fire alarm out of the way really early. So
yeah.
And dude had his super art fight, which was a lot of fun too. Mm-hmm. I know you were in completely the right mind, Steve, but take my word for it. All right, since we got a lot of other stuff to do, and that's mostly taking your questions, comments, theories, why don't we get started? I'm going to start first on Reddit. So please, make these answers as long as possible so people feel like they get a full episode here, right? Mm-hmm. We need to
really drag out my answers.
You see, like, I've never heard dragging out and One Piece in the same sentence before, so this is very unusual. Look, we promise 3+ hour episodes every week. We're going to deliver. First off, if you don't follow the One Piece Reddit, go to reddit.com/r/One Piece Podcast. Great place, great people. Start some other discussions. Join the Piece Together discussion. Anyway, first one comes from John Gargia, who says, if all of the Straw Hats with devil fruits had to have different fruits, which we've seen in the series, which would you like them to have? So already existing devil fruits.
Already existing.
How
about Sanji with the flare fruit?
No, Straw Hats with devil fruits.
Oh.
Having a different fruit.
Oh,
so if you had to switch fruits,
so it's only fruit users.
Yeah.
Well, if Luffy had to have a different fruit, I think he'd probably want to have the flare fruit, the flame fruit. It would probably be the best one for him.
Well, if Brook had any other devil fruit, he wouldn't be in the crew. He'd be dead or a really, really old man.
No, he'd be dead.
Well, hopefully he would drink the same wine as Dr. Kureha. He'd still be alive.
Chopper either.
I think
Sanji Chopper wouldn't get through.
That's true on Chopper.
Then
I would have given Sanji the Glint.
Oh,
Kizaru, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a tough question because
the only ones we could pick
Brooke
from
wouldn't be in the crew. Neither would Chopper.
So who's left? Wait, with
Robin
and Luffy. That's it.
Yeah.
What other kind of fruit would you want to see Robin have?
A Logia? I don't know. Maybe a Zoan?
No. Robin would need something that you could do undercover. So her Zoan could be like a small animal.
So a giraffe.
Could be.
No, the
Oxops,
invisible.
giraffe.
Yeah,
Give her
actually,
the
yeah.
invisible fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Nobody likes Absalom anyway.
For sure.
Um,
I like it.
Absalom's like a condensed version of everything that everyone hates about Sanji.
The second question this person has is, which character who we haven't seen in a long time, for example, Gin, would you like to make a reappearance at some point?
Anaru.
Yes.
Yeah.
Either of them.
Yeah, Geen, I would really like
Geen
to
is
see. Anaru, like, there's still so many characters that we
You
haven't
know-
seen.
I'll be honest. Now would be a good time for Gin to come back, considering it's Yuro Sanji and everything.
It's
Well,
a-
I imagine him and Don Krieg might be allied to an emperor.
Huh. That means they would have to make it onto the Grand Line
Yeah.
first.
What if Sanji
That's
gets
their
to Big
promise.
Mom's place and Geen's just waiting there, like?
Oh, that would be dope. Oh, that would be cool.
Whoa, what if, because, remember Jimmy Vito, the intern? Because he whispered into Sanji's ear, and in the next chapter, what's his name? Freaking Peckham's talked about, like, oh, it's like if you refuse, they
Someone's head in the box.
yeah, and maybe it's something else, but let's say that Jimmy Vito was telling Sanji, we'll chop off his head and put them in a box. What if it was Geen? Now, would Sanji really care?
I think he would.
I think he would.
Well, maybe, yeah, a little.
Because what if, like, just Geen just sailed around the road? It's like, oh, Sanji from the Baratier of the Straw Hat Pirates is a good friend of mine. I'm going to tell the whole world.
That's just what he was doing. He was sailing, yelling it. I am friends with Sanji.
By the way, I was doing a motion like he was using an oar. Like,
Yeah.
they're still on that same little boat that they gave him at the end of Baratier.
Oh,
Which is
something-
Smiled on his crew.
Well, something I haven't been able to talk about because I haven't been here in a while, but like Big Mom's information connection is on lock. And I have a theory on why that is. Is
Go
the
on.
fact that like Big Mom's, of course, the mom pirate, and of course she's a woman, and of course, if you're going to be as sexist and stereotypical as possible, what do women do? They gossip. So she's the queen of gossip.
Well, maybe.
Just like the Straw Hats in that middle-aged lady filler. Or not
The
filler.
Obanan.
Yeah, Obahan time, yeah.
Who knows? Maybe Fukuro is Big Mom's son. He takes after Mama.
There was another...
Yeah.
This isn't a question here, but I just realized none of you guys were on last week, and I
Yeah.
want to ask you what you thought of last week's chapter and the big reveal. So, spoilers will
I almost
probably
thought-
be starting here.
I almost thought you were saying, what do you think of last week's episode? It was great. I haven't listened to it yet. I want to, though. I haven't had the time. Last week's
You've
chapter.
only been at 2 conventions, so I haven't found the
last
time.
week's chapter, from what I can remember now, I love the twist. And I was talking about this with Alex. We were saying, how did we not consider that an option that they
Yeah.
actually did?
Seriously, me too. Yeah.
Because we were all convinced, and it just really brought the Minks higher up for me. Like, they are awesome. I love them way more now. I really thought we were gonna get like this huge ongoing fight between Dogstorm and Cat Viper, but it got squashed really quick with that. That's all I'm really thinking about. Like, I'm kind of drawing blanks on the rest of the chapter.
Oh, I got emotional when they dropped to their knees and said Raiso's safe all along.
yeah, me too.
I'm like, oh my god, you guys! I had the same reaction Usopp.
I got
after.
chills. I got chills.
It's like you guys nearly just completely sacrificed your entire lives for this one person. What kind of connection do they have with this clan from Wano?
Must be a good backstory.
It's like the Minks are an embodiment of everything that like the Bushido culture of either Wano or Japan would
Yeah.
like. That's
Well,
what
I
that's what they see themselves as. They don't always live up to their own ideals, but I feel like that's like the embodiment of that.
I also think it's just Oda saying like animal loyalty.
Yeah,
That too.
that's a cool concept too. I mean, last week we were talking about how kind of ironic it is that the Minks of Zou resemble what you would think the people of Wano resemble more than what we've seen so far of the people of Wano.
Anything you want to add, Mike?
Yeah, Mike,
no,
please.
I just basically what Ryo said. I actually read this in the bathroom of my job because I saw it was out.
You must love your job.
No, I love One Piece more. So when
It's okay,
I
remember-
think we all agree.
I remember, like I was telling you earlier today, I remember the chapter in Punk Hazard when Law was revealed. I remember I was reading that in the bathroom too.
I think my coworkers heard me go no with that 2-page spread. That was amazing. That's I'm a big Sanji fan too, but I would say that is one of the best moments so far this year.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Mike and I had
It's
the
only
exact
February.
same reaction at work at the time.
No.
It's like, no, I was like, oh, fuck.
It's like-
fuck.
And I listen to the podcast too, so I hear the theories, whatever. And it's like, how come myself or they never even considered
Yeah.
it? It's
It never really
maybe
even came
it
across.
came up, but it's
But
insane.
you know
and then
what's
this is the kind of thing that I was talking about a couple weeks ago when I said that there has to be some sort of big event still going on Zoe to propel the story forward. And I think this is sort of where it goes from here. This is what I was looking for.
I'm
Yeah,
sure we're
and-
going to get some questions about where things go from here as well.
And it's also a testament to just Oda's writing that he can construct these narratives with all these different characters, and he leads us in so many different directions. We miss the obvious,
Well,
and
there
that's
is
happened quite frequently.
this is buried in last week's podcast, but Greg did manage to predict this somewhat at least.
That's Greg.
On episode 399. It doesn't really count. But when I used to listen to the Lost podcast with Jay and Jack when Lost was coming out, I used to get angry sometimes because they predict exactly what would happen. I'm like, oh, they spoiled it for me. I mean, they didn't really. So in a way, it's actually pretty good that we didn't guess it because we would have spoiled it for everyone.
I don't know if there's ever been a time we've predicted something correctly. Someone else would have to tell us.
We've predicted things.
Oh.
I accidentally predicted the time skip. Remember? And I
Yeah.
said, oh, maybe they'll go off for 2 years.
No,
or
that's
something.
stupid. You're stupid.
It was
I
like
remember I was anti time skip. I think you put that on.
I was
the,
anti-time skip.
You put that on one of the anniversary
clip show,
episodes.
yeah.
The clip show, yeah.
If you haven't listened to the 320th episode spectacular, I think there are some theories
Listen
in
to
there
that.
of that are both ridiculous that we got wrong and a few correct ones.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna try and do more clip shows in the future. I know that's something that people have been asking for. Next question comes from White Bear Beppo. I plan on making a prediction and speculation video on Wano. And he continues on saying that maybe the scar on Kaido's abdomen resembles Luffy's scar a lot, and Luffy got his scar due to Akainu's magma attack. You can see where this is going. Is it a stretch to say that Kaido's scar was due to a fire attack of some sort? Or, I should say Sakazuki.
I mean, we don't know much about who Kaido's ever fought before, but except for one person, really, and that is Moria. And they said that Moria fought Kaido to a draw.
He actually recommends something pretty interesting, that maybe it's a swordsman who could use fire techniques like Hinamon from Wano or Kagetsu clan. We know nothing about what the Kagetsu clan even is beyond what we just heard in the last chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts?
I couldn't tell you. There's nothing really.
Yeah,
There's not much to go on.
I wouldn't put too much stock in like the scarification. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people.
It's the same as having the same hair color and therefore being related. I can kind of see that.
But though I think it's safe to say my Shanks got his scars from Blackbeard. I think that goes without saying.
Serious question. How many Gomu Gomus would it take to string fiber optic cable from Japan to New York to minimize latency on Skype? Or would you rather have Kizaru do the work for you, keeping in mind that the best he could do is around 75 ms? That is a very...
Can you give me money now?
On a different topic, what movies released... I asked you this in the car on the way back, Steve. What movies released within the past year did you guys enjoy besides Star Wars?
In the past year?
Oh,
Mad Max Fury Road?
Mad Max, yeah.
Mad Max was
Sicario?
great.
Sicario was good.
I saw
I
Deadpool.
saw Anomalisa. That was pretty good too.
I missed that one.
It's I mean, I appreciate it at least as far as going to against the trend of movies being more than two hours. Anomalisa was a good animated movie. It's very, I don't know, if you're not really into like really emotional and kind of
Fun fact.
Yeah.
While we were doing the pilot for Rick and Morty, they had just started Annalisa at Starburns. So I saw like the initial test footage of that when they only had like 5 minutes of the entire movie.
Oh, it's the stop motion movie, right?
yeah.
They have an exhibit for it actually at the or they did at the Museum of the Moving Image near me in New York City. So they showed like one of the rooms that they had the stop motion.
I'm trying to think of other movies. Really like Boy and the Beast. I saw that in December.
Oh.
I saw it with Bryan.
That was good. Yeah. Creed was excellent.
Creed is great.
I really want to see Creed.
I know it came out at the end of 2014, but I saw it in January. Birdman, excellent.
Birdman's good. That you're stretching.
Oh yeah, that was
last
a good
year.
one. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot
very
of
good.
fun actually.
I saw The Revenant as well, and same director.
It was pretty good.
I kind of have no desire to see The Revenant for some
Oh,
reason.
like to
you
see
should see it. It's very pretty. It's
It's
a
good.
good like experience.
Okay.
Visually, it's good.
Alright. If I go in, it's like Avatar. It's visually good.
No,
It's still good
it's
as
more
story.
than that.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. That's all I need to hear.
Hey, Resurrection F was fun too. I saw that in theaters
Hmm?
twice.
Yeah, we get it. You went to the premiere.
You want to hear about it?
I don't see a lot of movies. I saw Inside Out this year. That was a good movie.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Big Short was pretty damn good.
I think that's still in theaters.
It is, yeah.
I think, yeah. I might go see that.
Hey, Brian. How about Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny?
Oh, fuck that movie.
No idea what you guys are.
G5,
Oh,
I smell the blood of an Englishman.
Google
It's a Riff Tracks Mystery Science Theater. Those cats.
it. Yeah, we saw that in the theater.
Next
and
question.
Oh, it was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Next question is from Prince Cheddar, who says, do you guys think that the tree on Big Mom's Jolly Roger represents her family tree? Since we found out she secures alliances with marriages into her family, it seems like good symbolism.
That's interesting.
Also saying, I don't know if the term family tree is a Japanese phrase as well. Perhaps one of you know.
No, I don't think there's anyone here who would know that.
Yeah, unfortunately, Stephen and
Well,
Greg
we won't know for sure unless
and
Loa is on it.
Allison are not here.
Well, that actually makes more sense than I always thought. It looked like broccoli. I'm
Me
like,
too.
That makes no goddamn sense.
It's like, I like sweets, but a little bit of vegetables every now and then.
It looks like
Fun.
the Chinese broccoli. Do you know
Broccolini?
Is that what it's called?
I don't know. That's a real food, though. Don't.
No, like the stalk
Yeah, I guess
broccoli.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Or
about.
Thai. It's more in Thai food, I think.
Oh.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I know what you're talking about.
okay. I'm not getting
like
an
a-
audience
it's
here
like
in
a
New
leek.
York.
It's like a leek, right?
Yeah, it kind of looks like a lake. Next one comes from Super Dubes, which I really want to say Super Pubes, but that's not what his name says.
Well, you said it
You
anyway.
just yeah.
Look, I'm reading this from further away than usual. Hello, One Piece podcast. After seconds of research, I've come up with a theory on the origins of the One Piece. I believe it is actually a school swimsuit, and it has caused a great war because young boys couldn't contain their quote-unquote will of the D. I feel like we must have gotten that theory in before it. Just curious what your thoughts on this theory are. Also, Bonnie is the One Piece in this theory, and that's a theory explanation for another day. I'm gonna move to the next question.
I
Absolutely
like,
nailed it.
of course, the swimsuit joke's been used, but I never heard the teenage boys had to contain their
The will of
will
the
of D. I love it.
Uh,
I think that's a phrase I'm gonna start using now.
I'm getting the will of the D.
Oh wow, that girl's looking fine. It's giving me the will of the D.
I think we
I
should
will-
be moving on.
I woke up
And
in
we
the
have
morning and
erased
got a
all
little-
of the goodwill we
I know.
last week.
Oh nope, they're just sexist pigs.
For the record, I did invite some Jill on for this one. But,
Oh, those girls. Hey,
She couldn't make it.
Hey, girls of the One Piece podcast, you have every right to like give us some of your terrible One Piece one-liners.
No, we had last week's
Pick up
was
lines.
probably the most lewd episode
Oh, yeah, it
we've
was-
done in a while.
The ladies are raunchy.
Yeah, so I think we get one will of the D.
Yeah, I
I think we
we're
got
allowed
one
to
of
say
those
that.
here this week. This one's from Gentleman Bastard 12. Hey guys, after hearing Zach mention that he is reading Harry Potter and planning on reading Game of Thrones,
Nerd.
being a voracious reader, I got to thinking about series that I feel are underappreciated. So he would recommend that Zach, or I guess anyone else here, he doesn't say anyone else, but why the hell not? Read. Tell me if any of you guys have heard any of these. Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lunch. Anyone? Okay, so
His name makes me hungry.
which in my opinion far outstrips Game of Thrones as a fantasy series. You're gonna get a lot of nerds hating you, Gentleman Bastard. Now my question is, are there any books or TV series you feel are underappreciated or were canceled too early? Firefly, I'm gonna say, is not a
Yeah,
option.
Firefly is kind of dead horse at this point. First thing that popped in my mind was Megas XLR.
Yeah.
That's you said TV, right? I could say okay.
TV or books.
Okay.
Yeah, I can fair on that.
Megas XLR.
Oh, man.
It came at a time before the '80s nostalgia boom really hit. Symbionic Titan.
Yeah.
I think I'm mostly thinking of TV shows because I don't read books or anything.
I'm trying not to think of anime because there's plenty of that too.
Well, it's also
Well,
underappreciated, not just.
in a sense, because I've been reading the Akira manga lately. I'd love for there to be an adaptation of that. I mean, the movie's great and everything, but the story is really unfinished. the way they adapted it. If they could do that in
I think
like an OVA series, that'd be great.
I mean, I've never read the manga, but the movie to me feels like it stands on its own.
Yeah, well, considering like JoJo's coming back, that Parasite series, all these like early '90s, late '80s adaptations, that could happen.
Yeah. Books. I don't think books are ever canceled before their time. They're
Yeah.
books. You know, they.
I was reading this book; it was great, and then it just turned to blank pages at 72.
I have one that I think me and Steve
Yeah.
talk
I
about
think
pretty
I know
often. We were big fans of Shaman King, and you
Yeah.
know, I've read pretty much all the manga, even the extra stuff they wrote afterwards, and it's pretty good. And
Yeah.
you know, the anime is kind of
Eh,
shit.
but
It's the only good 4Kids dub. I
yeah,
think.
it's probably like voice wise,
Voice-wise for some of
voice
them.
wise.
But not writing wise.
Writing wise,
yeah,
it's
writing wise
terrible.
is pretty bad.
Well,
yeah.
Those of us who are Gundam fans know that MS 18 was actually supposed to be longer, but like one of the executive or one of the producers died in production,
Oh,
so
I
they had
didn't
to
know
like
that.
rush the ending really quickly.
Oh,
And the last few episodes are brilliant, so I wouldn't change that, but I wish it could have gone on longer.
I'm trying to think of underappreciated. Anything underappreciated? Because
Yeah, it's 10 years ago, One Piece, but
yeah,
I mean,
we
that's
would
why
have
we
been saying One
started
Piece.
this, yeah.
10 years ago. I don't know. I'm a big Lupin fan, and Lupin has like a cult following here, but not that big of one.
Lupin is like, I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't like, you know, I'm not going to go and make a podcast about it like I
No,
do with every
I
other
know,
show.
yeah.
But it's a really great show at the same time. It's like this entertaining. It's a fun thing to put in the
Well,
background.
it's not even so
and
much just a show. It's just like Lupin is practically it's just its own genre. It has so many
Yeah.
TV series and
The
specials.
new
and
one
movies.
looks so beautiful.
New one is fantastic.
I
If you're
love it.
not watching it, watch it.
Yeah.
Lupin Part 4. Gotta get on it.
I don't know how we got
Gorgeous.
onto that, but that has nothing to do with it.
Uh,
Any other? Anyone
I don't
else?
know. It's God.
top of my head, no.
Samurai Jack is coming back finally.
I'm excited.
Samurai
about
Jack gets a lot of
And
praise though.
So is Twin Peaks.
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah, I don't think Samurai Jack's underappreciated. I don't think people go around saying-
Transformers
That's fair.
animated.
Something that was canceled before it was even made, or that's in like development hell, is that Monster live action adaptation.
Yeah, that. I
Oh, you know, I just finished reading that. That series is amazing.
I'm
yeah.
in the middle of it.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm at because the new big ones are coming out, so I'm in the middle
Yeah,
of it.
I
right
gotta
now.
start reading those too.
Yeah. It's a really good series, and a live action adaptation. I was thinking like they should totally turn this into a mini.
Bryan, have you
Yeah.
read the other Urasawa series yet?
No, I want to read. I started 20th Century Boys, but now I want to go back and finish it.
Yep.
You should definitely read. I love 20th Century Boys. It's ridiculous, but it's great. And Pluto's great if you need a quick one. That's the quick one.
Yeah,
Try to lend
I
that
heard
to
about-
Steve.
I can probably do Pluto really quick, but yeah, after reading Monster, I'm like, yeah, I have to read his stuff now.
There's more questions from Gentleman Bastard, and since this is a whole piece together episode, we might as well ask them
Yeah,
all.
do it all.
If each of the Straw Hats and the crew of the One Piece podcast were to be gender swapped, this was a topic last week, what would their gender swapped names be? So let's do this first. We got the 5 of us here, so why don't we play it like we were doing a few weeks ago? Each one has to choose someone else and you go down the line. Steve, you want to start?
Oh, it's Stephanie.
No, I thought you were giving someone else.
Give someone else a
No,
gender swap
well, I'm
name.
Stephanie, so let's get me out of the
No,
way.
you're not.
That's easy.
No,
How am I-
Steven's Stephanie.
What?
Steven's already
But
Stephanie.
I'm Stephanie too.
You can't
You're,
both be Stephanie.
You're Steph and I.
Can I be Steph? How about I'm Steph?
Okay,
and
you're Steph.
Stephanie. I'm Steph. Well, Zach, you have one, so I can't.
Yeah, I'm Xenon.
Um,
Xenon Bloom.
What? All right.
I guess I'll do my friend Mike over here. You'd be Steph's instead of Steve's friend Mike. You'd be Steph's BFF, Michelle.
Original.
Yeah.
I like it.
Anyone you want to give Mike? Ed? Ed or Brian?
Edwina? I don't know.
Edwina.
I'll take it.
Edwina.
Glad you like it.
You missed out. You could have called her. You could have called her Edna.
And that was my grandmother's name. Oh, wow.
Edna.
I've been calling her Crandall.
Brian can be Brianna.
Yay, that is the equivalent of that.
Or you
Steve
could,
already
or you
has
could,
one, but
or you could call him Olivia, and then we could call him Olivia Newton-John.
you could give me another one, Brian, since Steve took it on himself to make his own.
Yeah, I'm even trying to stretch for like a Z female name. It's
Zach,
only-
Zelda?
Zelda is
Zelda.
Zelda. I think was my grandmother's like middle name.
I didn't say Zork.
Zork.
Also, if after becoming gender swapped, they become strippers, what would their club be called? And what would their stripper names be?
Oh
I
god.
don't know if this means us or the Straw Hats,
Oh.
but for the sake of disturbing
What would
images,
my
I feel like we
stripper
should go to
name
the
be?
next one.
Oh man. I'm definitely a honey.
A honey. What month of the year would I be named after?
You were January. I mean, that's your birthday.
I'd probably name
February.
myself after my birthstone, so I'd be like,
Wait.
"Hey everyone, hope you're having a good time and drinks. Let's give it for Amethyst."
Wait, what's
Ooh,
the
I'm-
porn?
Amethyst.
What did you tell him?
Porn name is your first pet with the street you lived on growing up?
Oh, so
Oh, I
my
have a good
porn
one.
name would be Roxanne Canterbury.
I'm Cassie Woodland.
Get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
Yep.
Sugar 163rd.
In a row?
No. Believe it or not, I'm Blackie Adale.
Okay, probably my. I thought I had a good one.
Yeah.
Yo, our porn names are legit.
Ed, what's yours?
What? How does that? What's the formula again?
First pet and the street you grew up on.
Buster Leeds.
No way. No way.
Yeah.
You know, we had requests to make this podcast more PG, and we failed, and we're only like 20 minutes into the 30
We're
minutes.
not describing what our porns would be. It's just our names.
True.
Oh my, that's hysterical. Oh my god.
Can someone
guys,
write those down listening?
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna give it a little golf clap. That's amazing.
Okay, I don't think we're gonna beat that. Let's go to the next question. I think we'd all be awesome porn actors with those titles.
Yeah, because you don't have to try that hard.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
We need to offer him more.
All it is.
That's gonna
I'll
be
give
the title.
up anything.
That's the title.
Anything to make my wish come true.
Even the butt.
We're going too
Okay.
deep. We're going too deep.
What-
Pun not
Yeah.
intended.
Come on. Far too.
They totally intended that.
Okay, next question comes from One Piece ending nowhere. It's okay. Hey guys, love One Piece and love your show. You guys are funny. Love all the
I think
references
so,
so
after
much.
that segment, yeah.
Keep up the great job. First time commenting. And so what he is wondering is, what if Kaido does not have a devil fruit? And he says this because if he wanted to commit suicide, then wouldn't it be easy? He would just have to fall in the water, basically. So
Oh yeah, I never thought of that.
he did say that, but I just added
Would
that
it
one.
be like, what if like every time he tried to drown himself, like this is it, I'm doing it, and he jumps in the water and like somehow like some sea turtle just happens to be below him.
Oh,
and
hello.
He's like, oh, here we go again.
The floating piece of wood just keeps going there. The buoyant wood.
That's a good one. I don't know. I think he definitely has a devil fruit,
Yeah.
but
I think he does, but that's a good
He's just
question.
he's just a lazy suicider. That's all.
He's not
He just-
trying hard enough.
yeah, he just keeps typing it out on Facebook. It's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Big Mom's like, do it already.
Let's just do it already. I will.
Okay. Next question comes from Joey Joestar. Nice to get a question from Joey.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Hey, One Piece Podcast. Hope this past week with no One Piece chapter went well. I'm here to present an off-the-wall prediction. I'm currently in the middle of watching the dub for the Alabasta arc right after Sanji rescues everyone from rain dinners. At which point Sanji complains about saving Luffy and why anyone would bother eating a devil fruit since you won't be able to swim anymore. So my prediction is we will eventually meet back up with Sanji as he meets with his family, his father, or someone else will force him to eat a devil fruit on the pretense that in the new world you need all the strength you can get. Do you guys think that Oda would have the memory for this cruel twist of fate, or will he bring up other things for drama? I feel like there's a lot already. So
I mean, I always, that's pretty good theory. I mean, anything could happen, really, but I was kind of under the impression that, I know it's not too popular a chapter, but, you know, the Sanji versus Khalifa thing, when he says, you know, I've been taught to never kick a woman, I always just assumed that That didn't sound like Zeph to me. I feel like this has to do with the Veen Smokes and
The
maybe
Vince
his
Smokes are all huge
woman
perverts,
beating.
or
Yeah,
women beating.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Terrible,
No,
terrible people.
they wouldn't be woman beating. That's
Yeah,
the
true,
opposite.
true.
of
I
woman.
mean-
yeah.
Yeah, you said I was taught not to.
Yeah, I
they're,
was
they're
taught
all
not.
like chivalrous, like kind of sexist chauvinists.
Well, I was actually thinking like maybe like, and this maybe dip it into like maybe melodramatic territory. Maybe his dad like hit his mom or something. I don't know, something like that, and that's how he learned it. But it could be either or.
I don't see that
Yeah.
in One. Well, One Piece has some pretty terrible.
I mean,
things.
Yeah.
Spanam's an awful human being
Yeah.
for that.
And
Yeah,
someone's
true.
mom got shot in the head, so
Yeah.
it's like,
No, she got sent to the dungeons.
oh yeah, oh my mistake.
What was the line?
Yeah,
What a nice
If you-
dungeon to spend
you-
the rest of your days.
If you can't pay the cash, then you're out with the trash.
Human.
Black North Wind has a question. The final arc in Naruto was
One
100.
more time, Zach.
Naruto.
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 Naruto?
Hey, I think we should go pilot a Gundam's hero.
That's exactly what I just did. He said it was 183 chapters long, 4 years in the real world timeline, that final arc. So do you believe that the final arc in One Piece will be even longer than that?
I
yes or
hope
no?
not.
I mean, like in the actual timeline.
183 chapters or 4 years in our timeline. You know?
That's a
Yeah,
long time.
the last arc of Naruto was like a giant war, which
Naruto?
we'll get that in One Piece. Naruto,
Yeah, we will.
We'll get that in One Piece, but I hope Oda plans a little better and is a bit more brisk, because the last arc of Naruto was just abysmal.
Did anyone else here read it?
No.
Nope. Okay.
Alright.
Okay, yeah,
Curious.
so I'm the only one who suffered through it.
SS. Sorry, Ed.
Nope, that wasn't
Okay.
me.
SS Luffy has the next question. I keep getting nightmares that Pudding is going to be in Okama. What do I do?
Imagine her as an actual pudding.
Yeah,
That's what I do.
Get over your fears. It's not really that big a deal.
Yeah, it's a big
I don't
world.
think Oda would do that. I just
It's a big world out there. Everyone has different lifestyles.
Yeah.
Learn to appreciate.
No
it.
judgment zone.
No judgments.
The One Piece podcast is a no judgment zone. Welcome to it. Next one comes from Joe Man.
that's not true at all. We judge people all the time, Zach.
Thank you, Ed. Joe Man has the next question. Is there a Shonen Jump app for PCs? My laptop is the primary device I read Shonen Jump on, and I don't always have a reliable internet access. It would be nice if there was a way for me to download each issue on my laptop, like I do on my smartphone. Unfortunately, I think the answer there is no.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much else I could add to that.
A good idea if they did it though.
Yeah, let them know. Let Shonen Jump know. At them on Twitter.
It's because it's interesting that you can retain your copies in the app on a device, but not on a computer.
That is true. That is weird. But let them know that you want like an app in the Mac App Store or whatever. Or you have you probably have a regular PC. I don't even know how that works. But let them know.
Yeah, we're all like,
Yeah, we're all
we're
Mac.
Mac users. We push the power button and it turns on.
There would be no podcast if it was not that easy.
That's how I feel.
Shy Guy 531 says, "What's up, guys? So we know that the Vinsmokes are a family of killers or assassins. My theory is that they actually want to kill Big Mom, but know they can't beat her in a fight. Papa V, that's what we should be calling it. Papa V is using.
Papa don't V. I'm in trouble deep. Zach goes to write that down.
Papa V is using the wedding as a chance to get close to her, so he could pull some dirty, underhanded stuff, like making him the big bad of the Whole Cake Island arc. Luffy, being the noble hero he is going to beat up Papa V, get his chef back, and form an alliance with Big Mom to fight Kaido. What do you think? P.S. Where's Matt Cohen and Bryan? I miss them.
Got one this week.
We got Bryan right here. Matt Cohen. I don't know. He pops up every now and then.
Yeah,
He's got a
I
lot
had,
of.
I had a sorry, I had a siren run by.
no, it's okay. But Bryan's back. He's here.
Yeah.
He's here.
I actually like that theory. That's fun.
I was actually thinking
but
of a way that maybe like the Vinsmokes have been contacted by someone to try and kill Big Mom. You know, that's their
Yeah.
their family of
Well,
killers.
I've been trying to piece together
Uh,
why the vent and smokes are protected, or at least why Sanji's protected by the government. Like, if they're just killers and they're outlaws, why would the government say only alive? That's
Yeah.
that's why I had that question a couple of weeks ago about maybe there is a connection to CP9 where if they're like training professional assassins for the government, that they don't want to necessarily hurt that family.
Yeah, I like the theory a lot too.
Or maybe, I mean, that also kind of fits into the loose theory that I was having that they don't want him dead because they need him for this plot that the government has to kill one of the emperors.
I don't know. We're in that zone where I have no freaking idea what's going to happen.
Isn't it great?
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, especially after Dressrosa, where you're like, okay, he's gonna beat up Doflamingo, get it over with. Anyway, that's it for Reddit. But again, reddit.com/r/One Piece Podcast.
Yeah, good questions this week.
Good questions, but we got some emails. Let's hope you could live up to this emails. You could email your questions at onepiecepodcast@gmail.com with the subject header pieced together. If you do not have that subject header, I will not be reading your question. First one comes from Fury. It looks like Law will split from the crew following Zoe, he says. What motivation does he have to do anything post-Dressrosa besides gratitude towards Luffy? You guys...
He still wants to take down Kaido. He wasn't exactly lying about that.
I'm wondering what his reaction is going to be, considering Sanji going with Big Mom and Luffy wanted to go to Whole Cake Island. So I think it's going to be some form of point of contention with Law, possibly.
Right now, it is kind of a mystery. I don't see him not helping out in the fight against Kaido because I'm pretty sure Kaido damn well knows that Law is involved with Doflamingo being taken down. So Kaido has just as much of an axe to grind with Law as he does with Luffy. So I think we're still gonna be seeing Law around for a little while longer.
I'd rather see the Straw Hats split up from Law than the Straw Hats split up from each other.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I fully agree with that.
Yeah, and we were talking about a few weeks ago.
It's funny. It's like, oh, all right, I'm heading out, guys. I'm leaving my crew behind. I'm gonna go stop Sanji's wedding. And Law's like, I'll come with you.
We were talking about how Law
I am the new first mate.
We were talking about how Law was kind of taking over the roles of a lot of the crew, and that just recently we've been.
I'd rather see Law just like, hey, that's your own business. I'm not gonna get involved.
You know who's not gonna like that? Shueisha and Toei.
Merchandising.
Well, the thing is, unlike Dragon Ball, I think One Piece, I think Oda has the control over the series that he wants.
Leaving characters in their respective arcs and moving on. Yeah.
I mean, also, I think it's because Oda has more of like a set story going on than I think Toriyama did. I mean, Dragon Ball is a lot of fun, but I don't think he had quite as much of the plot point set for it.
Yeah.
Also, Fury has a true or false question. Gear second damages Luffy. This was brought up in the Running Gags of 2015 article. So is it true or false that Gear second damages Luffy? I think they've said it was true. Yeah. We don't hear about it as much anymore, so I understand.
Because I think he's mastered it. So.
I think Luffy understands that he's not gonna live very long.
Proxy Hunter gives us our first SBS question of the night, although it's not penis related. Are Luffy's teeth rubber?
Well, I mean, his mouth changes size a lot, so I could see that.
Yes.
I guess you wouldn't have to worry about cavities anymore.
Next question comes from Ben Wild, who has two questions. First, if One Piece characters were put in the Power Rangers universe, what role would they play?
You got this one, Mike.
Try to see who Zordon would be. Probably.
Zordon would be Rayleigh.
Yeah.
Luffy, I need 9 pirates with attitude.
Pirates with backstories.
Well, I guess Luffy. Well, Luffy would probably, I guess, be Jason, the Red Ranger.
Zoro is Tommy.
The Green Ranger.
Friggin' Ace is Tommy.
Oh hell!
Oh my god.
No, we're talking about the Straw Hats only, though.
Oh, Straw Hats only?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
One Piece characters.
Okay.
Okay.
Ace is so Tommy. Frickin' Tommy is kind of the Poochie.
Kobe's Billy. Kobe's got to be Billy.
Let's be Usopp.
Yeah, I think. Or no, or would Usopp be Zack?
The first Black Ranger?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yes.
I don't know.
because Usopp is cool. Like Billy is lame, so that would be Kobe.
I don't know if Usopp's cool. He has great characteristics, but I don't know if he's cool.
The question is, who'd be Rocky?
I don't even know who any of these people
Who's
are.
Rocky?
Fuck Rocky.
The-
Rocky's the second Red Ranger in Mighty Morphin.
He's Jason.
No,
Light.
no one likes Rocky.
Oh, I forgot about that guy.
No one likes Rocky.
Then who's Johnny Young
Hawkins.
Bush?
Johnny Young Bosch.
Law.
Law.
Black Ranger
Definitely.
2.
I'm a frog.
Second question. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Who would be Rita Repulsa? That's what I want.
Ugh,
Big
Big
Mom.
Mom.
Big Mom.
Yeah.
Big Mom. And who would Lord Zed be?
Kaido.
Be Kaido.
Absolutely.
The second question Ben here has is: do you think that Funimation will release singles for Pink Sake and New World? What do you think would be the best way to make sure that they do?
They won't.
Do
They
you
don't
think they'll
do
have
music.
full versions of those songs?
They
We were
don't.
listening to them in the car, and I was like, please.
They don't. Licensing music is a different thing, and
Yeah, but those are like Brooks songs.
But Funimation isn't like a record company. They're just an anime.
I think if they did it, it would be like an extra on the DVD that you could listen to.
Mhm.
You know,
That'd be cool.
It's tough, but
At most, at
yeah,
most.
like we were listening to some One Piece songs on the trip back to New York
Some.
last night. So, what?
all like we
Most
listened
of them,
to-
yeah. And I have Brooks 2 singles on there. And I'm like, I can't wait to hear these in English.
They're
gonna
great.
be amazing.
yeah.
But luckily, well, I mean, you don't hear the whole songs, but you hear about like the first like minute of each song in those episodes. So yeah, it's not gonna happen. It would be great, but we'll also talk. You and I were talking about. I would love to hear that full version of the dub version of Family, but that'll never happen.
That was
Back
years ago
to-
at this point.
I don't
Back
care
to
about
Power Rangers One Piece characters.
Oh, yes.
Kaido's Godar.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Oh wait, but who would be Alpha 5?
I don't know.
Ay.
Chopper.
Chopper.
Just because he's the mascot. I don't know.
But no one likes Alpha 5.
Yeah, I know.
You guys could keep thinking if you could cut in the middle. If
Power
there's
Rangers,
somewhere.
sure.
The next one comes from Wilhelm. What do you think about the theory that the devil fruits come from people with strong spirits dying and leaving behind their will in the form of devil fruits? For example, Zoro and Sanji are making mythical zone fruits. Zoro the Ashura type and Sanji the devil type. Interesting. Meaning that they will unlock more powers relating to this in the future and possibly leaving behind devil fruits when they die. The problem is, I think we've already they just grow in trees.
Yeah, but
right?
do people die and become trees? It's actually an interesting theory.
Yeah,
right?
that's a fun one.
Yeah.
Because the implication is like you could be presented with a choice at the end. Is like, will you sacrifice your friends who are awesome and become these legendary characters for more power?
It's good. Wilhelm has another interesting theory. Rizzo is disguised as a mink, specifically Carrot, and she seems to be the only mink with fake claws, using a form of glove as a weapon. Could it be possible that the minks have protected Rizzo by making him or her, my guess her, look like one of them? Maybe it's just a mink. Well, no, it can't be. It's probably a samurai, because Kinemon and Contra were looking for. I think they would know.
I think if it was like one of the characters I already know, I think it would have been revealed in the previous chapter. And like, oh hey, I'm Rizzo, or I don't think so.
Well, the other question is he's definitely on Zoe, he or she.
Well, I think like if they're a native of Wano, they're probably like 8 feet tall or however tall they are.
They're
so.
fucking tall.
But if they want to protect Rizzo, then
Yeah.
like if they's disguised as Carrot, would like Jack just so happen to murder Carrot? Then well,
Yeah, who's that mink over there with the crappy rabbit face paint?
Next question comes from Evan. Oh, I'm not sorry, Bryan or Ed. Do you guys?
No, I support all those opinions.
I endorse. I heartily endorse this product or service.
So this comes from Evan, who says, "Now this is an observation, but with Big Mom refusing a tea party spells certain death for one's loved ones or themselves, and since we literally know nothing as to why Shanks is a one of the four emperors outside of strength, do you think that refusing to party with Shanks and being a wet blanket is as lethal as refusing Big Mom's tea party? It would give oddly weird credence to showing Mihawk partying with Shanks in the early days of the anime, aside from them being friends, of course, which is a question in and of itself concerning their history."
Shanks doesn't follow by any rules. He just
Eh.
he's in the moment, living day by day.
Yeah, but I can imagine if you turn Shanks down, it's just as likely that he probably wouldn't kill you outright, but he definitely would probably like sock you a good one.
Mm-hmm. Like, okay, understand. You're gonna get going. All right, well, give me a hug, and then that's when he just like punches you.
So I have
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
sorry, like all these like pirate leaders are like temperamental for one reason or another. So sure, why not?
So I have a very long story that was given to us, but it's a pretty heartfelt story, so I wanted to read it. And it comes from Jonathan Carlson. He also has a funny question at the end, so hopefully, I think it was
You
funny.
shouldn't have spoiled it.
Okay, so I'm gonna read it out loud. You guys could listen in. My name is John. He lives in Puyallup, Washington. He said how to pronounce it. I hope I did that correctly. And I'm deeply appreciative of for who you all are. Just recently, my girlfriend's 92-year-old grandmother, who raised her, had gone into kidney failure. We bought a ticket for her to fly to San Jose, California, where her grandmother lives, and she has been there for a week, comforting her in her final days. While she was gone, I really missed her, and you all really helped me take my mind off of things. A few days passed, and things got heavier. I was planning to drive down on my weekend to say my goodbyes to her grandmother, and drop off more of my girlfriend's stuff. The drive back up for a day or two later, when I was pulled into my manager's office and terminated for illegitimate reasons from my job of 5.5 years, which I was deeply passionate for. Once again, you guys helped me sleep and take my mind off of things. With a different outlook, I was now able to spend more time down there. I packed up my newly financed car and set off on my 850-mile trip. Along the way, I felt my anger build, and I felt very depressed over losing my job, and your podcast alleviated all of that. I drove from 6 p.m. to 3:30 a.m., slept till 7 a.m. at a rest stop, and soldiered on until I rolled up at her parents' house at 3 p.m., February 14th, Valentine's Day. I felt I would have gone insane without the engaging analysis, comedic camaraderie, and fascinating insight into the awesome world of One Piece. Well, something was off with her, I could tell, and after a few hours of visiting and relaxing after the drive, she dumped me. We had a wonderful mutualistic relationship of 2 years that was headed toward marriage and children and beyond, but she couldn't be with me anymore. We cried and we held each other until about 11 p.m. when I couldn't bear being in that town any longer. She had ended us, and I hurt too much. And on Valentine's Day, come on. I know it's just a stupid day, but come on. So I was distraught and unconsolable, yet I decided to drive back. I luckily got a hold of my friend Michael, who was the one who showed me your podcast, and he calmed me down. I drove and listened to Zach's Moons, Ed's piece the tweet. I have a Macho Man Randy Savage shirt that I am very proud of. Steveness. The dude's Poochie arbitration, Steven's beautiful translations, and more. I drive until I crash from exhaustion. Not literally.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Slept a couple hours and powered all the way up back to home. I've slept a total of 7 hours over the course of 2 nights and driven 1,700 miles within 2 days, and you all kept me alive. I was just listening to the One Piece connection. Side note, could the missing moons depicted on Ohara been destroyed and the fragments landed on the planet below make up some, if not all, of the islands of the Grand Line, and the moon fragment energetic properties are what causes the erratic meteorological events? I really like that as a side note as well. For the 4th time, as I pulled up, just changed into sweats and typed this. I listened to the Dressrosa read through, plus he lists a lot of episodes twice. My soul feels betrayed, and I am now jobless and relationshipless. However, I am alive, and I have you to thank. I know this was long, and I appreciate you reading it. I felt like it's just I needed to express my gratitude to you all, and I'm excited to continue our voyage together. Also, how much does a rhizo cost? An arm and a leg.
Hey,
Oof.
Wow.
What was his name again?
Jonathan.
Jonathan. Geez, man. Wow. It's, it means a lot for you to kind of pour your heart out that much to public and to strangers. Because Zach just read that entire thing on the show.
Yeah,
but
I have to say, we must give an applause for Jonathan.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
brother's been through so much.
yeah, man. Thank you so much for your support, man, for us. And all I could say is, hey, that's a lot of shitty shit. But you could overcome it. Everyone can.
Yeah.
It's just a shitty situation. It's only gonna make you stronger as a person, and you'll get a new job, and you'll meet someone new, and you'll still be listening to us. So that'll be work out fine. And I'll keep it up on the Steveness. I gotta make sure.
Yeah,
I
I
was
don't know.
bringing
You sometimes
Steveness.
waver on the Steveness.
Well, I could always bring the Steph'ness too.
Yeah, more Steph'ness.
That's next week.
But
Yeah,
nah,
and-
dude. Geez, man, it's a lot, to pour your heart out like that. But
I gotta say, for a lot of us, I think the podcast is one of the constant things. It's been there. We've been doing it for 6 years, and for people who've been coming on, some longer than others, but it's always there, and it's going to be there as long as One Piece keeps going on. So, it's an important thing to us, and we're happy that it's an important thing to you too.
I mean, I don't know about you guys in the room here with me, but or out on Skype or even listening, but this podcast has taken me through some really hard times. I mean, just knowing that you guys are here
Yeah.
and that there are people listening, and just it's always been a constant force in my life. And when people are like, "You should take the week off," I'm like, "No, gotta."
well, I know
it's my duty.
my life would be drastically different if it wasn't for doing this geeky podcast.
Yeah, it's somewhat geeky.
I'm really thankful. I think I've had a lot more opportunities for things I never would have had if I wasn't on this show, talking about One Piece like for a few hours every Monday. So yeah, I'm glad we're doing some good.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
really. Fine, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the notion of that you guys doing this podcast is that One Piece can sometimes be an isolating experience because it's such a good read. It's such a good series, but if you don't know people who are also experiencing it with you, you have no one really to share it with. And the great thing about this podcast is like there's a group of people who are you can share it with. And I can speak from personal experience. February is often a tough month for me, but just having to like forget about my problems for like an afternoon to think about something that I really love and I can really focus on is always a good thing.
Yeah, and Jonathan, we really appreciate you reaching out. Let us know if you ever need anything. All right, so Ed, I think with that, let's move on to
Peace the tweet. Yeah.
it's time to piece the tweet. We're taking your Twitter questions, comments, and theories as usual. I think we have a lot this week, right, Ed?
Yeah, quite a bit. The first one comes from Hiccups Invisible, who asks, "Do you think Zoro gets lost within the Sunny? Also, last week's One Piece podcast episode was really awesome."
I think he probably does.
A lot more rooms than the last ship.
Yeah, I don't think he got lost on the Going Merry.
Wouldn't it be
That'd
hilarious
be great
if
for a gag.
he ended up in one of the in the submarine? He's just going down the depths of the ocean, like
This is
No.
a weight room.
kitchen.
No, it'd be better he's sleeping in the ladies' room.
Oops. Yeah, that's all I got for that.
Okay. Bid up owl? Bid up owl?
You know,
Okay.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
Okay, Luffy will win Big Mom over by beating her in an eating contest. Meat versus candy arguments will ensue. I like it.
Yeah.
Next one comes from Slook. How tall are you guys? Because we know how old you are, so why so about your height?
Let's
Then
go into sending order.
Lenny
So,
says-
Steve.
I am 6'4".
Mike, how are...
5'8"?
Oh, I'm 5'8", too.
All right.
Mm.
Ed?
I'm 5'6".
Oh, I'm taller than you, Ed, by an
Damn it.
inch.
Wow, you're 5'7"? So you're like around my
5'7".
height, yeah.
Yeah.
I tower over the lads.
Jose's 6 foot.
Yeah, I think Jose is probably Well, Steven, I think Steven's pretty lengthy
I've never.
too.
Steven's the only person I haven't met.
But
on this show
I'm
yet.
usually used to just seeing him sit down.
Greg's 6 foot something.
Yeah, Greg's
Yeah.
a fairly
Greg's
tall,
a tall
guy.
guy.
I think Alex is 5'5".
Yeah, I think
Alex is the shortest.
yeah,
of us.
I think Alex is the
Yeah.
shortest.
Yeah.
Well, Sai, she's probably like I don't know, like 3 feet high.
You met Sai?
Yeah.
She's like tontada
She actually said
size.
that she's 5'2" on
Oh,
Twitter
she's
a few days
5'2"?
ago.
Yeah, so she's
Keep
like a little
us
tontada. She's like, my name is Sai and I draw the Saikons. And I'm predicting a few hours now from recording Sai's gonna be like, oh, that motherfucker Steve.
Am I the oldest?
Yeah, wait.
I don't want
30,
to.
33, and soon to be 34.
I think
You're the same
Greg
age as
is-
Greg.
is
Okay.
Greg 33. I thought Greg was 31 or 2.
Well, he was definitely in high school when he had his first website, the DBZ info site. So that was the late 90s. So I thought he was born in like 81.
Steven's
82.
the same age as Greg, I think.
Yeah,
so.
I think you're
You three are
Bryan-
all about the same age.
Okay, we're the peers. I get
And,
it.
and
Yeah.
Ed and me are the same age. And dude just turned the big 3-0.
Yeah.
Steve is the baby.
Yeah, I am the baby.
Me and you right here.
Yeah.
Same year.
Well, I mean, not including the Opie cast.
It's, again, Sai, the youngest, I believe.
Yeah,
if anybody's-
No,
and
Jill
the
is
shortest.
like-
You're still the shortest, Chico.
I think Jill's like, what did she say, 19 or 20?
Really?
She's really
Is Jill
young,
that
or
young?
20. But she's been listening to us since episode 30, so put that
Oh,
together.
so she was like 5 years old.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
She's got a great voice for someone so young.
What does that mean?
Exactly. What,
You mean her editing voice, her writing voice.
Yeah.
What's the next question, Ed?
Next one comes from Awesome Randy 2. Do you think that after the events in Dog versus Cat, Duke and Master will change the rules on the island or keep it?
Change the night and day rules.
Yeah.
I think something's got to happen there, and I think the Straw Hats will be involved. And I think when they leave, yeah, is that a little too general of a
No,
theory?
is one of the minks gonna look into the crystal ball and like, oh, I see a man with a straw hat, putting on shock collars on all the minks.
Hey, that's no way to talk about Madame Charlie.
He's gonna put one of those invisible fences.
No, I dig Madame Charlie, but it's it'd just be funny.
I think there's definitely going to be a flashback before anything's resolved.
Definitely.
I think we keep talking about like how old Zoe is. Like it's 1,000-year-old.
And also, have they done anything with the full moon yet? They kept talking about that before.
It was there last night, so we're not going to see it for another month. So I don't think
You
we're
look
seeing
really
it again. But
closely.
we might.
Mm-mm.
I think what we're going to see is we're going to have like a flashback, like Calgara and Noland. Fingers crossed, because in retrospect, that was a great flashback.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think we'll get. And it'll probably be about Dogstorm and Cat Viper, but in it we'll also get a lot of the full moon stuff and a lot of the history with Zoe, since
Yeah.
Oda seems to be chomping at the bit to even talk about that.
And Shanks.
Yeah.
And that's why Luffy's interested.
Yeah.
I think. Why
That
he stayed
checks,
up.
yeah. Any other thoughts, or
No.
Ed? Yeah.
Okay. Whitebeard1992 asks, if Jack destroyed almost all of Zoe in an attempt to find Raizo, where in Zunisha's butthole did they hide him?
That should be a new phrase we say.
about-
Where in Zunisha's butthole?
I'd say
That sounds accurate, actually. Where?
at least
Butthole.
maybe at least a mile into that butthole. Way up in the butthole.
Beyond
Way
the
up,
second sphincter.
Way up in the butt, Morty.
I still like the idea of him hiding like Murasaki the ninja from Dragon Ball.
It's just the flag.
Wasn't it the reed? He hides in the reed under the water.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I was thinking of when he like tried to hide
Hides a bunch of different ways.
hide against a tree and he pulled like the tarp over him and it was supposed to have tree bark, but on the opposite side was an American flag. So oh, I really hope that he's channeling Murasaki from Dragon Ball, because I love that character and I love that fight with Goku.
Oda is a big enough fan that he probably is. He's gonna be flipping some
I
maps.
thought that scene was kind of mirrored in the CP9 one with
with
Jabra.
Jabra.
Yeah, a little bit.
Keep going.
Okay. Three Sword Style 83 asks, what could Raizo be hiding that is so important he would let the people of Zoe die to protect him? Well, if what Greg was thinking a long time ago is still accurate, the fact is that Momonosuke is the the heir of the Koketsu clan, and that's protecting that is pretty much justifies everything he's done so far.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd agree with you.
Yeah, and it's probably bigger implications for Wano, if anything. I'd imagine right now Wano is like in a feudal state like Japan, where there's like multiple lords vying for control.
Well, I mean, it seems like they would. Wouldn't be like the Warring States period. It'd be like the Shogunate period,
Or the feudal. Wouldn't
Oh,
it be
feudal.
feudal? Yeah.
That's what I said. That's
No,
what
I know.
thought said.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna become Inuyasha,
Oh.
and then we'll have the
Right.
perfect endings for it.
Oh yeah.
You guys want to talk about that? What you were talking about yesterday?
Oh no, in the car.
Well, we talked about it on Robin's Got the Bats. We
Yeah.
did our ending cut down, but Zach tends to have these this. How much does it sound like an Inuyasha ending song ranking system? With
It's
the
not a
endings?
ranking system. It's a categorization.
Which is like we're listening to what's the name of the last Skypiea one?
Moon and Sun.
Yeah, like it's,
Mhm.
and, like Zach's like, this is so Inuyasha. And
Don't
I'm like-
sound like that.
It's like, oh, it kind of is. And what was the other one?
Glory.
Like
Those
Zach's
two.
Oh yeah, Glory is definitely
like,
very much so.
Inuyasha.
And even the one where Robin's
I like
got
the first two
bats.
Inuyasha endings. I don't know any of the other ones, but
No, the Inuyasha stuff, it's
It's
good, but
very-
it has a very particular type of
Mhm.
sound.
Yeah.
To be fair, the woman who Amuro Namie who sang "Fight Together"
Yeah.
did an Inuyasha ending also.
okay.
So I could say the same for that, but I don't actually think that sounds like an Inuyasha ending.
Kagome.
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 Steven.
Oh man!
This is devolving quick.
All right, next one. Fancy 2NA asks, why do you think Nami is always posing in her wanted posters when everyone else's shots are usually candid? Also, I have a headcanon that she makes Usopp take sexy pictures of her to send to the government for them.
I think he answered his own question.
If Usopp as a photographer acts exactly how he did as whatever kind of pimp he was in Film Z, I'd love it.
Or coming up in Film Gold.
Well, he was just an agent, but like I like to refer to Usopp in his disguise in Film Z as Pimp Usopp. But
He's
what was it? No, I think Nami the first time she just thought it was just some photographer when she was on Water 7. I guess she keeps thinking they're just oh, you're looking great, baby. Here's a smile for me, baby.
It's still Atachan who's doing the photography.
Yeah.
No, it's Absalom, isn't it?
Well, he's a news reporter. He's not actually taking pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
was the guy with the top hat, right? No, the
Besides
little hat. Yeah.
Besides, if it was Absalom, it would get into this whole no means no territory because he's an asshole. Absalom really is shitty. He's a shitty person.
Yeah, he is.
I wanna see Oda try and make him less of a shitty person with his new job, but I don't know if that's.
Oh, what a scoop!
He just turns into a 1930s
Tim
reporter.
It's possible.
Next
Yeah,
one
what's
comes from something, I don't know, 27. Has it been
Something IDK, to be fair.
Yeah. Has it been mentioned that pudding equals pudding, and pudding is commonly a sound effect for bouncing boobies? So no one here really knows Japanese, but if that's true,
No,
it's-
that's definitely true.
What
would lend
about-
more credence to it.
I know
being
about my
that,
bouncing booby sound effects. Okay, Ed.
the three would be then. It makes more sense that it might be that three-eyed woman.
What about that one?
Commodore Pornbury.
Yeah, Commodore Pudding.
Pudding.
Good question, but no one here speaks Japanese, so we can't really explain it at all.
Well, I think maybe he'll finally get the boopalicious babe he's been looking for.
Well, I don't know. It's One Piece. They all have the same cup size.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but he's been looking for like a Z this whole time, and he's only had a J.
Oh, that would be ridiculous.
It would be the size of like an entire
Yeah, I
building.
think you're-
Yeah, if she wasn't like a stout, heavy-set woman, that would just be absurd.
Well, then he can fall in love with Big Mom. He's like, oh, the Z cups.
Yeah,
I've always wanted.
Finally,
There you go.
he's
There's the Z. And Lao G was totally fine with the G's. There they are, the G's.
What's next, Ed?
Okay, the next question comes from PG, who asks, do you guys agree a full blown out war will be the last arc? If not, what would be the more epic way to end it?
I cannot. I can't
gotta
see
be.
One Piece not having a big war
Mm-hmm.
at the end. I honestly think that I think probably like the last scene we're gonna see is I think Luffy hanging out in a bar and some kid's like, oh, let me at him, I want to be a pirate someday. It's like, oh, here you go, Scrappy Doo.
So it's the end of Gurren Lagann?
Ending the
Where
Gurren
he just
Lagann is
disappears?
sad.
No, there would definitely be a post-war arc.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
there's
yes.
going to be a big arc to culminate the whole series.
Yes.
I always saw One Piece ending coming full circle with kind of Luffy assuming the Shanks role of passing on the Straw Hat.
I just want to battle.
Oh, it's gonna be Makino's kid.
It could be.
You know,
yeah.
Who's the daddy?
Shanks. The daddy Shanks. I don't care. I know Ed doesn't believe me.
Maybe
The
it's-
daddy is
yeah,
Shanks.
Maybe it's Poodle.
How, though? I mean, did he take like a dip
Okay.
in the East Blue?
So when a red-haired pirate and a bartender love each other very much.
Oh.
I don't know. From what I remember from Windmill Village, not a lot of those guys were catches. So Shanks is quite.
Shanks
cool.
is a good-looking guy.
What about the fishmonger?
What about Whoop Slap?
Oh, I said Poodle. Oh, I
What
thought
would my wife think
Poodle
of
is
this?
another
Ah, that's
That's Orange Town.
No, it wouldn't be Whoop Slap because he'd say, "Oh, what would my wife think of this?" Adultery.
What's the next one?
Zenith Sky Ciel asks, if you were in the One Piece world, what group or organization would you be a part of? I'd be part of Cypher Pole 0.
Oh, so you're hanging out with a bunch of funsies, huh?
Funzos.
Funzos. How can I not choose the Straw Hats? I love
Yeah,
the Straw Hats.
Mm. I don't know, the Shanks Pirates actually. Right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have a lot of fun. Like
You
Yeah,
don't have
but-
to go on the
But
adventure.
no,
You've already done
but no
it.
women. It's a total sausage fest.
There are no women on the
Funds.
Shanks.
Oh,
You're
I haven't
right.
seen any women.
Not that we've seen so far, but Whitebeard would be worse on that regard.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, you just hang out with your brothers all the time. Yeah.
I don't know, actually, it'd be kind of cool to work at Galila. I think they seem to have a lot of fun there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You need to be pretty built to do that, though.
I would love to live in Water 7.
Mm.
I just assumed that I would be built enough to do that.
It would get built.
In a world where this is imagination, Zach.
maybe I don't know. Maybe team up with the Kuja pirates and they could think I'm made of rubber and they just.
Okay,
fight
let's
on me all
just
the
let's
time.
just move on from there.
F Lobster asks, based solely on the costumes, what are your crazy theories about what the plot of Film Gold could be?
Should we talk about the costumes a little bit?
I don't.
They're on-
Robin has a gambling problem.
You have a gambling. problem.
It's on
The main
OnePiecePodcast.com.
villain who we've seen his design, his name is Gambler.
Neon claws. I've actually been avoiding any information at all about the film until
I just know about the character designs and like the ship. I don't know anything yet. One
we
of my
don't know very much
predictions. Right now I'm seeing a lot of similarities with movie 6. That's what I'm getting the feeling of right now. They're like, oh hey,
The colors
like
and
on
the
vacation.
tones of the island definitely convey
yeah.
that.
I kind of see them like, oh hey, we're on this little vacation island, and then not everything is as it seems.
I like
Well,
the casino thing, but barbecue.
barbecue.
It's not too far off from Strong World though, because this whole kind of like mafioso crime syndicate thing behind the scenes is still permanent.
But do they have the best piggies in the blanket?
I think they do. What's next?
Next one comes from A. Peterson 43. Could Robin's post time skip cloning ability be an awakening of her devil fruit? That makes sense. That
Yeah, it's not a bad analogy.
I think a fully autonomous, like separate, like clone of her, that would be like her ultimate.
Is it? I still don't. I mean, maybe this is dude starting to like his opinions are starting to rub off on me. But isn't it like changing the landscape to fit your devil fruit? Like that's the idea I'm getting of what awakening.
This whole island is my body.
Yeah, so
No, but like
Robin
the
becomes an
Zoan-
island. Yeah,
The awakened Zoan users and Impel Down were just really strong. Like that's how Zoans
that's true
do it.
too. So how does a Paramecia? Oh no, we know how Paramecia does it. So it's. I guess you just take over the properties of other
I feel
things.
like, and I feel like, dude is a little justified in thinking this. Like, awakening can be whatever thing related to the devil fruit Oda wants it to be. It's a little bit of cop out.
Maybe it's just like this is the maximum extent that you could take your devil fruit, like to creatively.
Right.
Yeah.
To kind of follow crocodiles, like you have to be creative with your devil fruit, or else I will stab you in the chest.
Next one comes from Martin Linvid, who asks, was there ever a chance to have Tim Curry voice Ivankov for the dub? No, and I'll tell you why. He had a stroke a few years ago. He doesn't really sound like himself anymore.
I didn't know that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, his ability to act it's limited. He's still acting. I think he's going to be the criminologist in a remake of Rocky Horror, so he doesn't have to get up out of
Yes.
a chair.
That is correct.
So there's that.
That's sad.
But,
That's
I
really
mean,
sad.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
had a great.
hit you with
great
some
career.
real answers, bitch.
Yeah, but and also I don't think he would take the money.
No.
No.
Yeah, just so you know, anime voiceover doesn't pay a whole lot. So, and also there's a union.
Not in Texas.
Not in Texas, but
I'm sure he's in the guild.
Of calamitous intent.
oh my god, Tim Curry would be an amazing sovereign,
Yeah.
wouldn't he? Oh my
They
god,
could still do it. I mean, they did David Bowie without David Bowie.
I know. Oh my god.
Now I'm sad about that.
Oh, at the very least,
Yeah.
Tim Curry would be an amazing Venture Brothers character.
What's next?
91 Ryan asks, if the Straw Hats were in the world of RWBY, I assume this is some kind of animated TV show?
It's the red versus blue people. I
No.
think.
Oh,
No?
Brian, do you know more about it? I really don't know anything about.
Is that Red versus Blue, the Halo
Right, yeah.
guys?
No. It's like kind of like.
Oh no! It's the Rooster Teeth. I think
it's
it's
on
not.
like Crunchyroll and stuff. I'm sorry, I really don't.
But
know
it's
much about it.
not like it's like a quote unquote fan production.
Yeah, it's like a CGI show. The creator
Man.
unfortunately passed away
Jammer has
last
seen
year.
this, so next time
Yeah.
Jammer is supposed to be on the show, I would ask this question again.
Mhm.
Oh,
So-
I've seen some stuff from this when it was like a death battle with one of the characters from this. It looks interesting.
So no one here has seen this, so we can't really answer his question.
Yes, correct.
But yeah.
But when
let's just say yes.
When Jammer's on again, ask it, and you'll get a real answer.
Sorry about that. Next question comes from Mulis, the creator. How crazy is it that the Marine for dub has been announced? I still can't fathom it. It feels like such recent material. You think that, but it's actually, it's from the very beginning of the podcast.
Well, it's
so-
coming out on our 7th anniversary for the podcast, May 31st,
Mhm.
which I've discussed a little. And we were discussing this in 2010. It's 7 years old.
Yeah,
6 years old.
I just remember doing those anime recaps. Zach would come over to my dorm room every Saturday night.
Oh, maybe it's 5 years since
Yeah.
the anime came out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
I mean,
Going to
it's
Torma.
crazy, and I love Funimation, and obviously, people are buying it enough to keep doing it. So, keep buying it.
The gap between where we are between with the dub and the current episodes in Japan, yeah, it's gotten,
Shrinking.
It's
Mhm.
shrinking.
Yeah.
Well, what was it? It used to be all of it, basically.
But-
What episodes? They're up to the. Are they in the 500s yet, or it's still
Mm.
400s?
400.
I think
Yeah,
mid-400s?
mid-400s, yeah.
And what do we? The thing is, it hasn't actually shrunk that much. It just feels like it has.
By arcs. I
Because
guess.
we've been doing this podcast for so long, but for someone who just started catching up, that's 400. There's still 300 to 400 episodes back. That's a lot.
Yeah,
Yes.
a buddy of mine's reading through One Piece right now, and he just read all of Venice Lobby last weekend.
Good for him.
Yeah,
Good
Well
man.
done.
I'm like, yay, 400 more to go.
And listeners, if you catch up, if you binge and you catch up, let us know. We like hearing. I was telling Steve, we're the prize at the end of the tunnel when you finish reading. So let new fans know we're the incentive to get you to read all of it, so you could hear our Simpsons references. What's next?
Decky Doo asks, setting aside all of the jokes, do you guys actually think Bonnie has a role to play that is actually really important?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
I do.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure.
We were talking
Yeah,
about it
we're talking
today,
about
and
this
I
today.
think you were telling me all the Bonnie rumors, and I hear them. It's
I
like,
wouldn't say rumors. I just like crazy
theories,
crackpot
yeah.
theories.
I just really wish Bonnie's just 24 years old. Like, she's not even an old lady. She's not even a young girl. She's just 24. Like, I just
Like,
hope he just does
Because the
that.
series like, she's an old lady that could change her age, or she's a
She's
young girl
Luffy's
that made
mom.
herself older. No, she's just a normal 24-year-old who just
That
happened
likes
to
pizza.
get these powers. The government wants it.
She's really
Yeah.
the most mysterious of the supernovas left, because we haven't, they've done a little with her, but all that they've done is just create more fodder for speculation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great position for her to be in. Next
Go
one
on, yeah.
comes from Red Alchemist 85. Thinking if the point of view of One Piece was through the Kid Crew, it would be a seinen. What genre would One Piece be with other supernovas as the main characters, basically?
A That's a really good question. I like that.
What do you mean, just their point of view, or if
No, like if it were a series centered on one of the other supernovas, what kind of genre would it be?
Yeah. Right, because if it was the kid, if
well-
it was the kid pirates, it would be like Berserk, basically.
Yeah, and if it was gang, it would clearly be a noir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? I think Rouge. Rouge is kind of hard to tell right now, but why do I?
I feel like it would be more of a fighting competition.
Forgive me, Brian. But the first thing I thought of was something like black exploitation, like Black Dynamite. Only because the way Rouge sounds in the dub, he sounds so freaking cool. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, but he also kind of reminds me of, and that does Matt said, Garter Belt from like Panty and Stocking.
I haven't seen that.
It's Chris Sabat sounding very, very, very blaxploitation.
I think Scratchman and Pooh would be like one of the
It would be an
like,
80s. It would be an 80s movie. I'll tell you right now.
No, it would kind of be like a music, like the journey of a band, or like 8 Mile, or something like that.
Basil Hawking's definitely a David Copperfield show. Or Siegfried and Roy.
We're getting
Paul would be any anime.
And now I'm going to make your pants disappear.
Who have we left out here?
No, I feel
Bonnie,
Drake.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic, yeah.
That's
that's not a genre.
yes, it is.
Did we say Law? I'm like trying to. I think Law would just be like your very typical.
Law would
anime
be like a
series.
Gantz show.
Or yeah, it could be just like a really dark show,
No,
like a really depressing
Void of
Death
humor.
Note,
the cool
Yep.
kids anime,
like a Death Note kind
yeah.
of show. Not like with that plot, but like that kind of.
Oh, how
feel.
would the opening song go? How would the second opening go?
If Joe Bonnie had a show, it'd be something like Sergeant Frog, I can imagine. Like really goofy and over the top.
Yeah, very cutesy wootsy opening.
I think we've hit all of them. Capone. I mean, we just said that.
well,
We got
and Drake with the Jurassic Park genre of movies.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay. Sandro Corazon asks, with Jesus knowing the location of the revolutionary headquarters, do you think Blackbeard will tell the world government where they are?
No.
No.
What?
Because he wants those weapons.
Why would Blackbeard hey, world government, I know the revolutionaries are okay. Blackbeard, wait right there. We'll come get you. Where are you?
Yeah, Blackbeard got that oil. I'm sorry. Sorry, it's not George W. Bush.
I skipped over one here. Ewan Y asks, which characters do you think might be more intriguing if they were opposite gender, like if Akainu was a woman?
I think that would be really
I think all of
interesting.
them would
That's
be
a cool.
intriguing. It's hard to say.
Crocodile, actually.
Well, he might have been.
I still want my Jinbei lady. I want my lady Jinbei.
Jinbei.
Jinbei, yeah. That's my bae.
Sorry, I was talking about it over the weekend with the guys. I remember when Oda did the SBS of the gender swaps warlords, and we were going over what would their gender bent names be. I can't remember all of them, but my favorite, of course, was Boa Mancock.
Oh, I forgot we did that.
I forget all the. I forget.
I think we want to name that episode after all of those.
No, that totally makes sense. He's the Snake Prince.
The other one was Marsha D. Teach. What was the
I
question?
think Blackbeard would be the person I'd least want to see change genders.
Still with a beard.
His gender bend wasn't that bad. Kuma's was creepy.
Oh.
Yeah, of all the Straw Hats, I think would be the least different if they swapped genders would probably be Robin. I think she has sort of that low key personality, and she would actually be kind of she would be kind
Robin
of
would be kind of law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was exactly what I was about to say.
They had kind of similar-ish backstories.
It'd be funny if Frankie was a girl, just some really spastic woman in a bikini.
Yeah,
you know, just
and her name would be Frankie.
yeah, with an IE.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
Bradley Thompson asks if the Straw Hats.
Hello, Mr. Thompson.
If the Straw Hat Pirates had be in the Godzilla movie, what would they do?
Can you repeat that?
If they were in a Godzilla movie, what would they do? The Straw Hats.
Take him down.
Yes,
Yeah.
let them fight.
They'd kill him, and then Luffy would eat him.
Well, Frankie's definitely pulling out a Pacific Rim.
Yeah. Except General Frankie would only go up to like Godzilla's
Did
kneecap.
someone really also ask another Power Rangers team question? I see this.
Yeah, that's also Bradley Thompson. He had a couple of questions, so we'll skip over the Power Rangers one because we've already really done
We've
that.
definitely done that.
But his other question was, do you think they will find the Oro Jackson, Roger's ship, at Roftal?
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
I think that would be cool.
I like the idea.
Oh no, but I think he was already was he the Pirate King when he fought Shiki?
I don't
No, he
think
wasn't.
So, no.
All right, our next question comes from Javuz, who asks, which One Piece character and moment do you relate the most to, and why? Not who you would want to be, but that you related with. His would be Usopp at Mary's funeral and the feeling of letting go, and the art of ugly crying.
I think everyone here is going to say Usopp.
Yeah, pretty much.
I wish I was Luffy. I feel more like a Kobe.
I actually had Chopper during his flashback. That's something that I mean that's the one that always makes me most emotional. So I feel like that's the one that I relate most to.
Wait, what exactly is the question again?
What character and moment do you relate the most to, and why?
Okay. For moment,
I would agree with the Chopper one. It's the one I watch the most.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And also because of the music.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm trying to think of what moment.
I'd say Sanji at Fishman Island when he sees the mermaids.
Well, a recent one that got me that didn't get everyone else is Kyros when he's turned into a toy and witnesses Scarlet's death.
I don't relate to that.
How do you guys
It's
relate to all
depressing.
these
That
things?
was rough.
You have some kids we don't know about, Brian?
Well, no, I've never lost. Well, I've lost people, but I've never lost a wife. But I can imagine in that situation just not being able to recover.
Oh no, I could completely understand that being a thing. I just hope and pray that.
Another moment.
Yeah, for sure.
When Sanji leaves the Baratier.
I was
Sorry.
gonna say that.
I was
waiting.
gonna say
I'm like,
that,
oh,
too.
let's
You and I really do have a lot of the same opinions.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Manly crying. That,
oh yeah.
That's me. That's me.
So, I left my last job. We all cried.
All right.
Oh,
next one.
I got one. Usopp as a kid. I totally can relate to that. When his mom died and he just like lying to keep her alive. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I get that. You just gotta keep the fantasy going somehow.
Oh yeah, I understand that too.
Right.
I guess Luffy looking up to Shanks, there's always that cool older person you look up to and you want to be like, and Shanks is the ultimate adult, like, I want to be this person figure, so, yeah, I guess that.
Right on. Next one comes from Private Tucker. If you could have any job in the One Piece world, what would it be?
Female body inspector.
Really?
Just kidding.
I think it'd be cool to be in the Marines.
That's a not very good job security there.
Oh, well,
And by that I mean you might die.
I know.
Oh no, it's One Piece. Never mind, you're fine.
Again, working for Galley Law Company. That'd be fun.
Yeah, Galliwa.
Fun stuff.
Being a performer.
Baratier, that is the job. Working on the Baratier.
It sounds like a lot of work.
But you get great food
Being
also.
a stage performer in New Combo Land.
That would be fun.
I'd rather be king of Dressrosa.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea, Brian. Why don't you go do that?
It's hard.
Yeah, no matter which king you choose, it all ends up the same.
It's tough to choose because I'm already a big wig at the Cracker Factory.
Oh my god. All right. Private Tucker also asks, if you could go to one convention that you've never been to, what would it be and why?
Convention.
Does
Jump Festa count?
Jump Fest 100% is one.
Yeah, I gotta go.
I really want to go to Anime North, but every year it happens while I have something else that I need to do.
When does it happen?
This year it's Memorial Day weekend, I think.
Oh crap! Yeah, I'm gonna be going to Fanime,
and I'm gonna be at my fiance's graduation, so that's not happening.
Damn.
And it's also MomoCon weekend, so I'm missing both of those, and I want to go to both.
Yeah,
of
well,
those.
yeah, because I got a tail for MomoCon, but I'm gonna go to Fanime instead. So sorry, any Atlanteans.
I don't keep up my conventions as often, but friends of mine make yearly trips to Japan towards the end of the year. And apparently there's some convention that goes down with a bunch of artists from around the world, talk to like comic producers and editors. And Yeah, I don't know the name of it. I can easily look it up. But yeah, I'd like to attend that at one point.
I'd at some point also like to go to San Diego Comic-Con like
Hmm.
once. I don't
Yeah.
want to go more than once. I just want to go once. Because I've never been.
Mm.
And I kind of want to experience that.
Yeah.
And then
I-
realize that was an awful idea.
Yeah, it sounds like personal hell.
Well,
We
New
got-
York
you
Comic
have
Con
to
has
do it
turned
right.
into that.
Yeah.
New York
Yeah, I have
Comic Con
to
is
visit-
awful.
I have to visit New York for that same reason. I know how to do San Diego right, and that's not go to the convention.
Yeah, Brian, I really want you to come to New York. You're
I-
always welcome here if you
Yeah,
need
I will.
somewhere to crash. Yeah.
Can I come too?
No.
Super Ninja Clone asks, do you guys think Kaido is the current shogun of Wano, or is just controlling the shogun as a puppet?
I pick option A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's an option C, is that he is descendant of maybe some opposing force to the current shogun of Wano, who was dispossessed of the island in the distant past and is trying to regain the island.
Like
Because he has a-
Doflamingo.
That was Doflamingo, Ed. You're describing Doflamingo.
I think,
Yeah, well,
I think it may be possible it could be related to Kano as well.
Hmm.
They may be
Wano
neighboring
Kano?
countries, so
Wano Kano.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Didn't they? I think Kano explained who they had in charge already, right?
no, the Happosui, they're pirates basically.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah,
were.
but they're-
Maybe.
But they're very like Chinese oriented, while Wano's clearly Japanese
I
oriented.
doubt
so.
they're under the same. Well, they might be under the same wall. I don't know.
Well, it would probably be from Wano invading.
Well, even just the name Emperor makes it evokes the idea of a head of Japan or head of state for Japan. So, I think Kaido being the Emperor, so to speak, of Wano,
As opposed to the shogun, who's the head
as
of government.
opposed to the Shogun.
Well,
Shonen.
yeah, that's interesting. So if the emperors can also be like heads of countries or heads of ideals, then like clearly Big Mom's like the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, I
like,
think
what's
they essentially
kind
are.
of
Yeah.
yeah? So like, what would Shanks' kind of idiom be for his kind of like ruler allegory?
Cool guy.
Mhm.
I got nothing.
He's more of a wanderer, isn't he?
Hmm.
He doesn't.
He feels
seem-
like it for
The
sure. Yeah.
Wandering Samurai.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to want power or authority.
Rurouni Kenshin. Well, Oda did work
redhead,
for that.
and they're both redheaded.
Yeah.
And Captain Kuro's at Rurouni Kenshin.
Are we ever
There's
gonna see
no,
Kuro again?
Is that true?
there's one. Well, we go over there, but there's one volume where it clearly is Oda's artwork, and he's assisting, and
They just threw
it looks like Captain Kuro. And this before he did.
Well, I
One
know they had
Piece,
the
but-
I can see
cannonball
that.
with like the Jolly Roger.
Oh
on it,
yeah,
I
that's a
think.
little more obvious, but I
Yeah.
think that's way
Yeah.
after he started
Oh,
One
it
Piece.
was?
but-
I could definitely see a Captain Kuro showing up, like
Um,
that kind of archetype of a character showing up in Kenshin.
Oh, definitely. But it's like a crowd shot. I'll try and find it. Oh,
Good.
Next one comes from the Avatar. So swords
Oh,
are
the Avatar.
no Abotar.
Abotar.
Avatar.
The name is Abbott.
He's like,
so
what about
it's-
Avatar?
What's the
Yeah.
question, Ed?
right. So swords are expensive in One Piece, and Zoro is always broke. Good that he uses free sword style.
Really, Steve? That made you crack
That
up?
actually got me.
No, it's true. He hasn't paid for any of his swords.
Yeah.
But that's a good joke.
No,
I'm shaking my head.
I don't care. Chisadana Blinger asks, has Naruto coming to an end seemed to affect One Piece's popularity in the US any? Now, I've definitely seen people say, especially on like the One Piece Reddit, that they're starting One Piece because there's a Naruto-shaped void in their lives.
They should.
I mean,
Um,
I think it's a testament to One Piece's consistency and quality throughout the years that people who enjoy shonen but don't have like their big fandom series to go back to anymore because it's over, they gravitate towards One Piece because it has that legacy of greatness.
Well, I know, like, once, the Dragon Ball craze was over, I was trying to find a way to fill that void, so
I remember that time. Yeah.
So I don't see why it would be any different for Naruto fans, unless they just are like, okay, well, that's it for me in manga and anime. I'm done.
Well, it also makes sense because like both when Naruto ended, they had the little like nods to each other, Oda and Kishimoto.
They did,
Right.
yeah.
It's like an endorsement.
Yeah, it was basically, now go read One Piece. You're done. I'm done. I need a break, okay, guys? I mean, the thing is also in Naruto is that there's a lot of, like, side stories and other little things coming out, not by Kishimoto himself, but, like, story by Kishimoto. So there's still a lot, I think, for Naruto fans to look at.
Naruto.
Naruto.
Hiro.
Hiro Yui.
Okay.
Did somebody say Hiro Yui?
Huntress fan asks, how is MagFest? And if each one of the Straw Hats were to be part of a video game, what would it be? For example, Sanji in Cooking Mama.
What if we
by the
were
way,
in...
I believe he met Alex over the weekend because I think he went to Super Art Fight. He was at Katsukan. Huntress.
Oh, I didn't get to meet him.
Neither did I. Well, I met him before, but I didn't get to see him at Katsukan. Or maybe I did.
I mean, he was on the
I don't think I
podcast
did.
once.
Sorry, man. If a One Piece character was in a video game, what video game would it be?
One Piece Unlimited World Red.
That is a video game. All the Straw Hats are in it.
Brooke is totally
Fr-
Guitar Hero.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Rock Band.
Wouldn't Frankie be like Super Robot Wars or something? Is that a video game or is it an anime? I don't know.
That sounds
Sure,
like
whatever.
Yeah. Something.
What are those mech fighting games that they have?
Yeah,
Virtual
God damn
On.
it, I can't think of any.
Is there a
Virtual
cooking
On's
game?
classic.
Is there a cooking game for Sanji to be in?
Cooking
She said
Mama.
Cooking Mama.
Oh, you did.
Zoro would be in Red
Bushido
Steel.
Blade? Oh, Jesus. I thought you were going to say Bushido Blade.
That's probably a better answer. Usopp would be in any FPS.
Yep.
Or
The Legend of Zelda.
maybe he'd be in Toy Story Mania, which is a video game port of the ride at Disney's
Okay,
California
Ed,
Adventure.
please go to the next
You use a
question.
slingshot and use targets.
Okay.
It's a great ride.
Kaizo
Hold on.
Kurufi- okay.
Chopper would be what's the surgery game on DS?
Operation.
Trauma something.
Trauma Center.
Yeah, Trauma Center.
You would be on that.
You touched the sides.
and-
What about Robin? Anyone have any ideas for her? Robin or
I
not?
was trying to think of one I
She'd
couldn't.
get a book.
She's Tomb Raider.
Her favorite video
Oh
game.
yeah, Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
It is Tomb Raider.
Nice.
Anyone for Nami? Maybe one of those para games or something like that.
Or it's just like a navigation game.
I feel like she just
Monopoly.
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 The
Yes.
video game.
Yes.
Zach, you and I played Monopoly, the video game, on the PlayStation. Remember?
Kind of.
In like freshman year.
I don't doubt it. It sounds like something we do together.
The Kaizo Kurufi asks, are there any One Piece villains you guys really hate for any reason? Mine is Moria because of his nails on chalkboard voice.
Hey, remember Caribou? Remember Caribou? He sucks.
Hotori and Kotori?
Satori!
No, it's Satori, and then he has his
Satori.
brothers Hotori and
Hotori.
Kotori.
Yes. But I can't.
We're gonna
stand
avenge our
that.
brother. We're gonna avenge our brother. I
That's
have a
the
soft spot
answer,
for Satori because I really like his design.
I hate you.
Actually, Shura's worse.
Sure is a prick. Yeah.
Yeah, he is a little bit of a prick.
Satori is by far and away my least favorite.
I mean, everyone said Absalom, so
Yeah.
Yes.
Absalom.
Oh, yeah, Absalon's terrible.
Satori still wins.
Queen can.
I still can't.
Can we put like Queen in in character purgatory and get Rockstar out of
Stop
there?
calling her that. She has a name.
Queen Vacusuck.
Thank you. Queen
Orca Vacusuck. Yeah, can we put her in that void where Rockstar is and get him back into
I don't
the
think
storyline?
that's the equivalent exchange.
Do
You know, for
Do
a
you know,
lot more.
that costs just as much as it costs to bring a Rhizo back, I'll tell you that.
Equivalent Exchange is also the Piece Together segment equivalent of our Full Metal podcast, which is being re-released on SoundCloud.
Hey,
That's
that's
some corporate
Okay.
synergy there.
Work that in.
Full Metal Podcast.
Full Metal
Metal.
Podcast.
Oh, the Meow Band brothers.
Yeah, Band Brothers.
That's a good.
Hate them.
No,
The
You
Meow
hate the
Band
Malband brothers?
no, that's not as bad.
They're not good.
Yeti Cool Brothers are worse.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys.
And the Meow Band, and I hate to
Early One
I hate to
Pieces.
reference the 4Kids dub, but the Meow Band brothers are great in that because Sham sounds like this. Hey, I'm Sham. How's it going?
Yeah.
I have a cat's headline. Hi, I'm Sham. Terrible voice. Terrible voice. Awful,
Like Harvey
awful.
Firestein.
Pretty much. I think it was like Eric Stewart voicing him, so he sounded just like Butch from Pokemon. It's like, hey, it's me, Sham. Hi. Harvey Firestein sounds more like this. I gotta call my mother.
Yeah, that's it.
That's Kiko Moria's voice.
Yeah. Oh, that's our old voice for
From
Pokemon.
back when Mike was on the
God,
podcast.
Let me get your shadows, and I'll call your mother.
You see? All comes full circle. All comes full circle. And what's next?
By Lily Fern asks, how do you guess that Sanji's assassin / Vinsmoke backstory will compare to other ones in One Piece in terms of sadness?
It better be freaking sad. I'm looking forward to it. I really hope Oda's just like, I've been watching a lot of mafia movies. I'm getting a lot of inspiration.
I feel like it'd be more brutal and bleak than sad.
Yeah.
Given the death it's something that happens all the time when you're like around assassins, or killers.
Well,
who knows? They are killers in the One Piece world, so they might not actually kill anybody. So.
Maybe they will though. Maybe this will be like the first like bout of.
Wow! I can't believe shooting him in the head actually worked. He's dead. Wow.
Hey, Lucky Roo taught us that in like the first arc.
It's true.
All right. Next one comes from Huntress Fan. There's a commercial for a razor with One Piece characters, and he links us to that YouTube video. A chopper figure comes with a razor set. Does he shave?
I would not want to imagine what a hairless chopper would look like.
He shaves, but in the one part we don't see.
Someone has to help him get his back.
We're watching this commercial right now.
Why is Luffy excited for a razor?
Oh,
here comes Captain Killjoy. Hey guys, it's me.
This is the best animated One Piece thing I've ever seen.
This looks better than the anime.
Oh man!
Hey!
God damn it!
Dancing razor.
For
stands.
a record, I'd immediately buy this if I could.
I like how they have I like how they have a razor stand with a Nami figure. That's my Daisy.
A woman uses razor too.
I know.
Razor
That's
stand.
my Daisy. Venture Brothers.
Yes, I know what you're.
That was hilarious. I like how she was up. Hey guys, I gotta shave my soul patch. In my sideburns.
Definitely at the end of this, I'm watching.
Trafalgar Law for the last time. Shave those sideburns.
I don't think you know what sideburns are.
He's still, still better
is-
than Doflamingo.
Which is funny because Don Mattingly from that episode is now a manager of a baseball team, and he has instituted a no facial hair policy on his team, just like Steinbrenner did. That was like a story this week.
That's hilarious.
They pointed it out on Deadspin. Anyway, next one comes from Ice Rider 50. If the Straw Hats were to recreate skits from Chappelle's Show, which one would you like to see? Playa haters through time. The Playa haters go back in time. That's what I want.
Inazuma's the crabs from puppet gag with the STDs.
Oh my god. I would really like to see the whole Prince True Hollywood Story with Charlie Murphy. I'd like to see that with Ivankov. Would you like some grapes? So many good Chappelle Show skits.
I want Brooke in that one with what's that douchebag asshole's name who's the guitar player? And it's like white people dance like this. And black
John
people
Mayer.
dance like that. Yeah, him.
I would love to see the
Prince
Piss on You music video, but with Bartolomeo.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Drip, drip, drip.
Wait, isn't there a blind character in One Piece?
Fujitora?
Oh, of course. Okay, it's Fujitora, the blind racist.
Boogie Boogie.
That's as far as we can say.
That's
the only quote from that we could say.
Okay, let's move on.
Wow, that question had some awesome answers.
Milas, the creator, also wants just to ask us, how awesome are those Film Gold Casino outfits, if we want to talk about them some more?
I think I'm good.
I like the white. I really like, because I remember at least with the Grand Battle game we got, one of the alternate Sanji outfits was just a different color of his suit, and it was all white, and it looks pretty slick. So I like seeing Sanji in an all white suit.
I like Frankie and the Kigurumi.
Oh, it's the Kigurumi Frankie, and Frankie in the suit with his freaking pompadour.
Yeah.
Brooke's new black suit looks amazing. It looks just like how when Brooke was first introduced.
Yeah.
And actually, can I fold in something else here? Because Himawari323 has another gold costume question.
Sure.
She asks, whose gold costume is the worst? I vote for Luffy because of the double hat. Also, what do you think is Zoro's reason for shaving his legs?
Zoro's?
Apparently, his legs aren't
I'm
here.
trying to get those images.
I didn't know Zoro's legs were hairy. I know Sanji's legs were hairy.
We hardly ever see Zoro not in long pants.
It
unless
was
they-
in the barbecue.
Oh, also Brooks' white outfit is incredible. That's better than his time skip outfit.
Yeah, Brooks' white outfit's great.
Oh my
Yeah, it's
god,
pretty good.
I love it. I love it. He's so cool.
I enjoy Robin's white outfit as well.
Though, no,
She should be wearing the boa from now on.
honestly,
Nami's legs make no sense.
Nami and Robin's
They
legs
never
are
do.
so long, and that skirt is so short. I don't even think it's a skirt. I think it's a t-shirt with the sleeves cut
Nami's
off.
legs are taller than the rest of her body, then multiplied by several
Mm-hmm.
amounts. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Coming from a stubbier guy.
You are
Usopp's
quite
is
stubby.
cool.
Sanji.
I love
Let's talk
Usopp.
about Sanji.
Yeah, the white
Sanji's
outfits.
got long legs too. I'm looking at it now.
The white
Oh,
outfits are
white.
probably my
Oh.
favorite.
Sanji just is like,
But
he's
Frankie and
showing
the
off his
Kigurumi
six-pack
is-
inside the...
What I like about the black outfits specifically is just how simple they are. He almost in the movies they never just do simple outfits. Just like no, just wear a black shirt.
It's like when I used to play Manhunt with my friends. Just
I
wear
like
all black.
Luffy's double hat, okay? I'm gonna say it.
He looks like Tom Arnold from Austin Powers' Man of Mystery.
no, wasn't that the second one where he goes? No, never mind.
No, it's in the first movie.
First one. Who does number 2 work for?
That-
That's right, but you show that turd who's boss.
Any other questions?
Oh yeah, there are a couple more. One is from Based Metal God who asks, "Do you think Lafitte could have the harpy fruit? It's feminine looking, wings, hypnosis."
Well, I misheard that at first, and I'm like, ooh, that sounds like a horrible fruit to have.
I feel it sounds to me like he's combining elements of like harpies and sirens. Do harpies have hypnosis powers?
Harpies, no, they sing.
No, that's sirens who sing.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I think harpies are just bird people, bird person, and they just swoop down and they claw at you and eat you.
Yeah, they're just like bird monsters. They don't have powers necessarily.
Yeah. So probably not. But I wonder if he has like a bird, like an actual bird devil fruit, as opposed to like
Possible.
When before they introduced like mythical or ancient Zoa fruits, I assume like Lafitte would have like an owl devil's fruit. Because like, don't owls have a thing with like hypnotizing people, or is that just cartoons?
I
I mean,
it's just cartoons. They deliver the mail. I know that now.
I don't know. I mean, they do have sort of mesmerizing eyes, like they can see in the dark. I think, but I don't know if they have any hypnosis powers.
Any other questions?
Yeah, one more. This is the last one.
I have a few more after that, so yeah, keep going.
Okay, this is the last Twitter one from Chisadonna Blinger. Do you think Law's secret name, Water, has any major significance to the story? It seems really random.
It practically is.
No, it's Trafalgar and Waterloo. That's what it's supposed to be.
a reference to Waterloo.
I don't
Waterloo.
I think that's the only.
Waterloo, baby.
We've already done this reference. I don't think there's any others.
And also because his name is derived, in case people didn't know this, from Edward Lowe, the pirate. So it's what Trafalgar Law. So it's
really supposed to be Trafalgar Low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we made too much merchandise now. We can't
Yeah,
go
it's
back.
too late. Not going back.
Merchandising.
Didn't he say like water is his secret name, or is that what he said about?
Yeah, no, it's his
D?
mother's name.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's like a
Water D.
hyphenated name. Yeah. They're very progressive in the West Blue. They so we got a few more questions on Twitter that I want to get through. Not necessarily tagged with Piece the Tweet, but I saw them, so I want to address them. Mark Sullivan asked, "Can there be a second run of podcast shirts through the site you guys used last time? Mine is starting to wear out." Yeah, I think we'll probably be doing one soon. I might do it with a slightly different design, but maybe something a little sleeker looking. And we're going to be hopefully making some big graphical changes in the next couple months. So once that happens, we'll release a few more shirts probably. There's one other question, and that was there wasn't. I guess that's the last question that I have. I do want to mention before we go and start wrapping up, Alex kind of revved me up into this too, and it's something that I was throwing around, and that was the possibility of a One Piece zine produced by us at the podcast. For those who don't know what zines are, Steve, you might do a better job at describing.
It's just like it's a fanzine where I come from the artist world of it, where a lot of people, it'll kind of just be a bunch of artists coming together and creating like a piece or two, and you kind of put it all in this like just like a little like book, and it's just like, oh man, it's a collection of illustrations, usually under a certain theme. Some zines have articles, which
this one would.
Yeah, it's not too far-fetched for us. It's a collection of articles and other things. And Zach got the inspiration we should do our own. He's laughing because I criticized Zach for just going on Twitter and saying, okay, hey, so we're doing this. And I'm like, Zach, you just came up with the idea like 3 minutes ago. You gotta plan this out. It's
Steve,
something that we
for
want
7
to work
years.
towards doing. We want to why don't you talk about what the theme of it is?
All right, so right now we're planning. This is still in the very early stages, which is why I'm like hesitant to say deadlines and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we're looking for different artists who draw one of each arc, like a picture of each arc.
Not just like a picture, just like something based on,
or something based on each story arc.
And something a little more creative, not just like a character, like just a drawing of a character.
We wanted to
more illustrative,
make it more illustrative, exactly.
Or like make a comic or something like that.
Yeah. And we're gonna probably throw in a bunch of other cool little stuff in there too. I'm hoping to throw in some of our some of our more popular editorials, and other cool stuff that we produce. Maybe the One Piece Connection or something like that we could throw in. Although that would take up around 20 pages
how are we
worth.
gonna fund this?
That's part of what we're going through right now. So, we'll be going through a lot of details over the next few months, probably. This is not something that's going to happen immediately. But if you'd like to take part of it as an artist or just to help in the production of it, please let us know. Email us at onepiecepodcast@gmail.com. That's the only place we will be taking submissions. I have a spreadsheet going right now. Everyone here knows how much I like spreadsheets. For people who want to illustrate for the zine, if you do, please send us your the three arcs that you want to do in order of like the one you most want to do to the one you third most want to do. And also please send us a link to like illustrations you have done in the past, like to a Tumblr or DeviantArt or something, because otherwise it is unlikely that we're going to choose you because we don't have anything to go on. Mm-hmm. So if you've already submitted it and have not submitted a link, you could still do that. There's no deadline at the moment because this is still very early on.
We're just gauging interest.
But luckily because of Steve, we have some connections in the artist community that could help us out graphically putting this together, and Alex is very gung-ho about it as well. So we could do something pretty cool with that. But that's basically it we have this week. We'll be back next week, but before we leave, I want to go through, let's see how we could contact everyone. Bryan, let's start with you. Where could people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on DeviantArt as Banendorf, and you can look up my Twitter, Dark King Zoro, all one word. And you can watch episodes I've directed of Teen Titans Go, which are airing now, and episodes of Rick and Morty, season 1 and 2, are also airing.
And season 2 will be out on home video soon.
Home video?
Soon, home video, cassette, 8-track. I'm guessing, I don't have any official word on this, summer?
All right.
Yeah.
It's not soon enough.
No, sorry.
Bryan, get to work. Get to the DVD factory. Mike, where could people want to find you? Do you have
I don't have a
so you don't have
Tumblr
a
or anything.
you should call it Steve's friend Mike.
I should call it Steve's friend Mike. But you could probably find me every 360 episodes or so on the podcast. I'll be recurring through that.
We'll see you in 5 years.
And I guess maybe a few more times or here and there. But thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike. Steve, where can people find you?
Hey, you can find me on social media, Steve Yurko, all one word, on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram. I got some more conventions coming up. In April, I will be at ZenkaiCon in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and then Techo in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And more to come, but stay tuned. It's kind of like an on-again, off-again con season for me. But for now, I'm still on my little bit of vacation on the East Coast. Happy to be back. Woo-woo. You know it, bro. I'll be back in LA soon. And I love you, Indies.
Okay, Ed, where can people contact us?
Well, Zach, you and I are on Twitter at Zach_Logan and Edward E. Festizio. The podcast is at OnePiecePodcast.com, Twitter.com, YouTube.com, and Facebook.com/OnePiecePodcast. OnePiecePodcast.tumblr.com for news updates and funny pictures. Reddit.com/r/OnePiecePodcast. Leave us some piece together there. OnePiecePodcast@gmail.com is our email address. One Piece Podcast is our Skype name. Subscribe on Stitcher, subscribe on SoundCloud, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. And it is important that you rate and review us on iTunes because it helps keep us sort of top of the rankings and helps other people find us as well. So if you have the time, go rate us and write a review on iTunes.
Or comment on SoundCloud too. Always looks good. It's the most visible place you could put comments, and YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can also call us on our phone number. Zach?
And I believe that phone number is 347-497-MAGI.
Maji.
That phone number again is 347-497-6254. Call anytime.
Time.
With your questions, comments, and theories. This was a lot of fun, and it went longer than I thought it would.
I know. Awesome.
There was a lot of piece to tweet this week, and a lot of it was really good, too.
So just for those wondering, if there's no chapter or no episode, how do you do a podcast? Clearly we have plenty of material. But thank you guys for sending in all those questions. This was a lot of fun. Keep sending in those questions next week as we go through chapter 816, I think is the number, and episode 730 and 731 of the anime. Things are getting interesting. I'm really curious where it's going to go. And keep an eye on Twitter for who the guests for next week will be, as I also don't know at this time.
And hey, keep your eyes on our website too, with all this Film Gold stuff coming out now. We're reporting all of that. We're your source. We're posting everything. So
I think hopefully we'll have some pretty cool guests coming in the next few weeks and months. So keep an ear to the ground for that. So for the One Piece Podcast, my name is Zach.
My name is Ed.
And my name is Roxanne Canterbury.
We'll see you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
We